Go ahead.
Okay. Where last we left off, you guys had managed to make your way further into the northern half of the first level of this multifaceted dungeon that is Undermountain. While traversing through the dangers of the northern half of this dungeon, you encountered or came across a lead-lined box, inside of which was a withered heart. You also came across a couple of noteworthy magical items, including a drift globe and a wand of secrets. You encountered some manticores whose riddles you stumped, and after a short trip back to the surface, you got all of those identified. You also came across a bronze mask that had the visage of Hallister, which you were told during the identification process served as some sort of key, though any more details beyond that you could not discern. You made your way to the chamber you are now in, and where you found a few bugbears who were in the middle of putting together some sort of statue, which Julie thoroughly charged through, and combat ensued. You slew the bugbears as well as several goblins. However, out of the corner of Julie's eye, he saw several goblins make their way out of a room to the south, who, upon seeing the bugbears lie dead on the floor, immediately retreated further to the south. And that's where we left off.
We're not in combat right now.
You are not in combat.
I'm gonna cut down this way.
Okay.
And try.
The purple sound Avers' pet, right?
Yes.
My specter.
Yes,
Whatever.
and Kay, you saw, used some magic to raise a spectral form, undead form, from one of the bugbears he slew. Singe, in that room, you do note that there is a yellowed human skeleton lying on the floor that has had what looks like almost puppet strings put to his shoulders.
If I inspect it closer, can I discern anything about it other than that?
The most you can discern is that it's a human skeleton that has clearly been there for some time, and from the moldy string that has been put around it, you get the sense that the goblins probably used it as some sort of plaything.
All right. Nothing else in this room then.
Nothing else beyond some tattered beds. Draloff, you see in that room, there is what looks to be more tattered beds that have been kind of, and it smells horrible down here. It looks like anything of value the goblins who fled may have taken with them.
All right.
Who did we leave?
Those were
Go ahead.
those were bugbears that we defeated.
Up
Yes.
here, yeah.
I'm gonna look at them and see if they have any weapons other than a sword.
They have some morning stars on them.
All right, I'll take one so that I can give this mace back. It was a loner anyway.
Who has the wand of secrets?
Treverin, I believe.
Treverin has it.
I have it.
I'm going to ask Treverin to come down here and perhaps use the wand down here to see if there's anything over here.
Oh, over there? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I go down there and I use one charge of Wand of Secrets to see what's within 30 feet of.
You probably want to stand in the middle of the room, but you got.
Well, it's 30 feet, so it's.
Oh yeah, that would be the whole room.
Yeah.
I'm retarded.
And I'll give Anvil Wrath the Warhammer back to whoever I got it from.
Be me.
Okay. You're using the Wand of Secrets, Julie,
Yep.
or Pan, we just started. I'm just checking the range on it.
It's 30 feet. Radius from me. So it should cover this whole room.
Okay. You do detect one secret, but it's not in this room. It is close, though.
It should also point in the direction of it, so it should tell me a direction if it's north, south, east, or west.
It is pointing
Hi.
southwest.
Southwest?
Hi.
Okay.
Hello?
We just started, Pan.
How are
Alright.
you?
I relay that to Singe that it sounds like that there's something southwest, but nothing in this room.
Keep your eyes open. This place I do not trust.
I'm gonna open this door in front of me, Gilly.
Okay. So before we do that, Pan, did you have a question?
Nope, just trying to find us on the map. Okay, I found it. It's a big ass map.
Right there. Okay. The door beyond leads into a small hallway that curves back around to the south. Okay, sends the Spectre forward. The Spectre seems to give the all clear.
It can fly through walls.
What's the deal with the Spectre again?
I just ripped the soul out of some poor sap.
Hey,
Made him a bitch.
hey, Killy.
Hang on just a sec.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Wanted to change the server settings, so it was getting lag on my end. I just changed the host.
Given that we kind of know a general direction, do we see anything in this hallway or anything that would be
Nothing that stands out to you.
okay?
I'm gonna send my Spectre through the door.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow the Spectre through.
No,
Okay, you run.
it doesn't even open the door, it just flies
Okay.
through it.
So the Spectre runs through the door. Draloff, you said you're following the Spectre through the door?
Yeah, I'll run through the door. How about that?
Make an athletics check. Okay. You run face first into the door. Your nose kind of goes up a little bit and does sort of a cartoony, but it manages to get the door open.
Oh, there's
On the
a
other-
dwarf-sized hole.
So a pretty sturdy door. All you did is break the hinge. On the other side, you do see there are two stone pillars, and between them is a 10-foot wide arch that supports the ceiling above, which is 20 feet high. Near the base of each of the pillars, there are the skeletal remains, Julie, that you recognize, of two orcs.
I'll ask Julie if he wants to come inspect them then.
And Julie will.
Okay? Go ahead and just make a perception check.
Easy to find on my sheet. It's the one with the big minus next to it.
Fortunately, you rolled well. Based on a casual inspection of the orcs themselves, you get the sense that they were trained, probably adventurers. It looks to you, there's actually 4 of them total, 2 on each base of the pillar. It looks to you like they may have been slain in combat years ago. Anything of value on them has long since been taken.
So adventurers and not part of the previous raid group. Or no,
No.
that wasn't even here. Never mind. Wow, orc adventurers. I don't see that often. Let's search the bodies. Anything special on them?
Well, as you're searching them, it looks like anything of value on them might have been taken a long time ago.
Any tracks on the floor? Any signs of
There's
any recent activity?
make a perception check. Another perception check. Not that you see.
No, I don't see shit either.
Alrighty. I give my opinion to the group and let them know.
I'm gonna send my Spectre ahead once more, see what he's
Okay.
in this next room.
Before that happens, Kay, I would like you to roll a d12 for me as you pass between the 2 pillars.
Okay.
Draloff, I would like you to do the same.
What?
Roll a d12 for me. Okay. Kay, you pass through the pillars, and as soon as for those of you who are watching, as soon as Kay passes between the 2 pillars, between this archway that connects the 2 of them, he disappears from view. Draloff, as you pass through the pillars, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. You take... Let's make that public. You take 7 points of force damage. You take half damage. You take 7 points of force damage as wild magic pounds against you as you pass through. Barely, but still pass through.
So you say I take 7?
7 points of force damage.
He's used to things pounding against him.
Honestly, I had it set to roll to GM, and you should be grateful I didn't count that because I rolled 32 to myself instead of 15. So, But for the rest of you, Kay disappears from view as he walks through the pillars.
Does the specter
Where's
also
the other one?
disappear?
The specter's still there.
Okay.
Warlock, are you still here?
Kay, you hear him just fine.
What are you talking about? Yeah, I'm standing in front of the door.
You hear his voice coming from that direction, but you don't see him.
Julie will go behind the arc, and can he see Kay this way?
No.
I do not go through.
I look at my hand.
You cannot see it.
Huh, this is what being dead's like.
Are you injured? Are you okay?
No, I feel fine. I'm gonna walk up behind Vigo and put my hand on his head.
You feel his hand on your head.
I hope that's you, or somebody's gonna get a very painful leg right now.
I step away. I guess I'll ask Treverin if he knows what's going on.
Our comrade has
I just
become
hear
invisible.
a voice in the wild, and I see a specter there. I go, I suspect you're invisible. I don't know.
I
You're
point
still
at the
here.
archway. I go, do you know what the hell happened to that?
Yeah, you walk through it.
Oh, okay.
That's all I got. I don't have anything.
I guess I'll do an Arcana check on the archway.
Okay, go up for it. Upon close examination of the archway, there is a small sense of wild magic that surges between the two pillars.
Huh. Well, that explains a lot.
Julie will grab one of the orc bodies, go this way, and throw it through the arc.
Roll a d12 for me, please. Okay. You throw the body through. There is a brief purple glow around it, but then it fades.
Okay, do you see an orc that Julie just threw at you?
Yes.
Nope. Oh, I do?
Yes, you do. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You still see your companions and everything else. They can't see you.
Oh, well then, yeah, it's right there, and I poke it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's wise to continue to test fate here with one of us being injured and the other one turned invisible.
Well,
I
I'll tell
kind
you
of
what.
look around. So why is invisible a problem? I think that's a good thing.
Means I can hit people.
Says Julie.
He can
Agreed,
scout.
says
He can
Julie.
scout ahead.
Actually, I've got a better idea, and I send my specter through the wall.
Okay.
And if it doesn't see anything, it's going to give me the thumbs up through the door.
Okay. It gives you the thumbs up through the door.
Cool. And I will proceed to let Vigo open it.
Opening the door.
Vigo, how do you open the door? Oh, okay. I forgot you're not Drelov.
With my hand?
Trying the doorknob.
on the other side, moving to the south, there's a few alcoves on the end. You can see on the southern wall there are some moldy bones that have been swept in there. On the back wall nearby, hanging from rusty manacles, is what looks like a tiefling skeleton missing its legs. Written on the wall above that skeleton in dried blood are words. Does anybody speak Infernal?
I do not.
I do.
You see it written in Infernal in dried blood are the words "Talk to me."
Room is clear except for a skeleton on the wall or body on the wall.
I will tell everyone to stay quiet for a second, and I'll share the information about what the blood says.
Okay.
And I will attempt to speak back to it in Infernal and ask if anyone's there.
No response.
Killy, knowing about how far we've traveled and what the Wand of Secrets has told me earlier in this general direction, I'd like to use the Wand of Secrets again where I'm at now.
It points back to the archway in the other room.
Okay.
Is Kay going to send the Spectre to this door?
I am actually. Doop, doop.
Singe, are you keeping up with your companions?
Yeah, I'm also trying to go through my spell cards real fast and make sure I've got all the ones for. Out of curiosity, does anybody know, out of curiosity, if the spell cards for priests, the Xanthar's Guide to Everything spell cards, have the priest ones for lower levels?
They
Anybody?
should.
Xanathar's cards have those. It's not in the cleric cards.
Yeah, I know, because I'm missing
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, if it's in the Xanathar's book, it's another spell card deck.
Well, I think it's definitely a.
Xanathar's has its own separate set of spell cards that you can
It
buy. It's not part of
does.
the.
Yeah,
I
because
own it.
I have them.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to get them all together. That's because I'm missing the cantrip, apparently.
Which one?
Toll the Dead.
Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely in the.
Xanathar's.
I know it is because I used it for my Warlock. Not my Warlock,
Okay.
my Necromancer.
Yep.
It's just easier for me to look at them real fast and
Sure.
know what I'm,
Then try to.
what I can remember, like what I can choose to,
Sure.
you know. So I'm here.
Okay. Okay. Just I'll drag you along. Worst case scenario.
Yeah, yeah.
The Spectre goes through. It gives you the thumbs up through the door.
All right, Vigo, proceed.
Or moving along, I'll tell Singe that the one of the secrets pointed back to the archway, so that was telling us that's what the secret was.
Okay. How many charges does that have?
Yeah, it's 3.
Okay.
3 per dawn, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
You move through the small hallway in front of you.
Clear
The
hallway.
Spectre,
Another
Spectre
door.
gives you a thumbs up through the door.
Walk on in.
With my
Inside this room, you see there is, half buried in some stone debris to the north, is a partially collapsed hallway. Covering it is a headless stone statue of a nude woman. And you can see there is a thin but passable tunnel, kind of partially hidden behind the rubble, the debris, and this headless statue. There is also a set of double doors to your east.
I guess, does this statue look like the one that was submerged earlier?
No, completely different.
Wait, did we keep that head?
It was
The
not
the pumpkin.
it was,
The one we unscrewed from the other head?
that was a fish-like creature, which the statue is that of a nude woman.
Yeah, but maybe she wants to be a mermaid.
What is she doing? She's standing, gesturing, posing.
Posing.
Yeah, but posing how?
I'll send you a picture.
One
I'll
thing.
send you a picture. Artistically.
Kind of looks like a redhead playing a flute.
There's no head.
I can dream, okay?
He doesn't have a head?
The statue has no head.
How big of a flute?
As big as you want it to be, big guy.
Ew.
Oh my god.
Anything in this hallway, Killy?
Never date an illusionist.
Sure. Dreloff, you moving north of your companion, squeezing through the hallway beyond, enter into a small passageway that continues north, and I'll save you some time, to what looks to be that same columned hallway you came through pretty early on. In this small area, though, you do note on the floor is a dead goblin with its skull being caved in by what looks like a pickaxe. Nearby are 2 more pickaxes as well as 2 shovels that rest on top a pile of rubble near the mouth of the cavern,
So somebody dug their way in.
or dug through.
I relay that to the group.
Let's search the goblin.
Make a perception check. He has little more than a crude dagger on him. Otherwise, nothing of value.
And nothing scratched in the walls or
Nope.
anything?
His head has been caved in by a pickaxe.
Oh boy, it's disco hall time.
Are you opening the door to Disco Hall?
Yeah.
All right. Pushing the double doors in front of you open. Julie, I assume you're rejoining your companions. In the hallway beyond, you can see multiple paths branching off. The tunnels themselves are completely clean of any sort of debris, and floating within shallow niches along the wall are several cantles.
Which way we want to go, guys?
Yes.
That does not give me a direction to go.
You guys didn't want to take a look at the tunnel, or we were not able to fit through the tunnel?
Already
You
went
can
through
fit
the
through
tunnel.
They already went through the tunnel.
Oh. Nothing there?
There's a dead goblin with a crude dagger, some shovels, and some pickaxes. The tunnel continues back to the north near the pillared hallway where you guys passed through already. And that's about it.
It was the hallway that we went north and west, but that hallway that tunnel's connected to leads south down to here.
Okay.
Dreloff, as you make your way up following the northern portion, you can see in the alcove to the north, carved into the back wall of that alcove, there's a tiny niche that contains a bas-relief sculpture of a nude, heavy-set Hallister Blackcloak playing a harp. Lying on the floor in front of the alcove is the broken half of what looks like a 10-foot pole.
Okay. Do I see anything else about the statue?
Make a perception check.
Oh, Lord. That's going to be a negative. Oh, hell no.
No. How about that? So, you're leaning closer to the bas-relief carving, and you can actually see there's an inscription carved into the harp itself. It says, in common, "Gaze upon me with bronzed visage, and secrets shall I reveal."
Hey, who's got the
It's in the
bronze
bag. Hold
mask?
on. Here you go. I'll hand it to you.
I'm going to put the mask on this statue, Killy.
On the statue? Okay, nothing happens.
Okay.
Julie says, "No, dummy," and he takes the mask off the statue and puts it on himself.
Okay. You can see, upon putting the mask on yourself and looking at it, there's actually a portal that replaces the carving itself. That looks like it leads into a small demi-plane.
I relay that to the party. Door to other space.
Can you see?
Uh,
Can you
Hey.
see what's inside there?
I'll gesture for Kay to come here, and I give him the mask. Look. Put on. Look.
Okay, what do you do?
I put it on and look, I suppose.
You put on the mask and look at the relief carving, and you too can see there is a portal that leads into another plane.
So my first thought is I'm going to take off the mask and I'm going to try to put my hand on the statue. Does it just feel like a normal statue, or does my hand go through it?
Your hand goes right on top of the statue.
And if I put
Nothing.
the mask on and try?
When you do that, and your hand, all of you watch, your hand basically goes through the statue, and what's more,
We hold on, Kayla.
What?
We don't watch because we can't see him.
oh, you're right. So you give the mask to him. You watch as the mask kind of fades, and then Kay, your companion's not seeing this. As you put your hand on this to the carving of the statue itself, this onto the wall carving, I should say. It's not really a statue. Your hand goes through, and what's more, you essentially get pulled through this misty sort of portal and wind up in what looks like a small, almost kind of gloomy demi-plane. inside the small room. You can see the portal behind you that leads back to the way you came. There is, lying on the floor in front of you, the other half of what looks like the 10-foot pole, and sitting on a freestanding wood. Well, you see, you see in this room, there is a freestanding wooden wall that just kind of hovers there, and hanging on that freestanding wooden wall is a portrait of the Mad Mage, although it's upside down. And then sitting on a chair below that freestanding wall is the Mad Mage himself, in a high-backed chair. He looks up from a tome he's been reading, closes it, and a minute passes before he says, "Why don't you stand there like a boob? 3 questions in this there you can ask. Twice will be the answer true. Once false. And do be quick about it. After all, the show must go on."
So you're telling me I can ask any 3 questions, and it's 2 truths and 1 lie?
Is that your question?
No, I just need clarification.
Be careful. 2 truths, 1 lie, 3 questions. And be quick.
Okay.
You have a show to run after all.
Well then, my good sir, and I will take a bow.
How courteous.
First question then. What would be the quickest path to wherever that nether scroll is?
It's all part of the game, boy. "23 levels in this dungeon of mine, if I remember my counting correctly. Don't quote me on that."
I imagine he actually says it like he stops and like taps his finger against his face. Don't count me on that.
Sure, it's in character. We'll call it that. It's canon. He says that. He says, 23 levels, don't count me on that. You must fight through to find your way to my very lair. And all you have to do is fight and win in combat. Win, and I grant you 1 wish. Even, and he snaps his fingers, and you see a purpley sort of scroll fold up, which you immediately recognize as a spectral vision of the nether scroll, including this little diddly. But he snaps his finger and it fails. Die, and you lose.
So, and this isn't one of my questions. I just need clarification for this once more. Is that 1 wish for all of us, or is it a group like we each individually get a wish if we all come to the end?
You assume you'll all come to the end.
All right. Question 2.
Fire away.
So, since there are 23 floors, could you give me the location of the longest shortcut between said floors?
He says, there are no shortcuts.
Damn it. Okay.
I'm sure glad we can't hear this because I'd be very disappointed.
Is he visible to that whatever's answering his questions?
The Mad Mage can see him.
Hmm.
One more question, boy.
I guess, out of character, Kelly,
Mhm.
can my specter, does it know where I am since it's connected to me? Or is it like, no? Like it's...
Your Spectre. Make that ability again.
Sure. I mean, it just says it makes a specter, so I'm not really sure.
Let's check the Spectre's senses. The Spectre wouldn't know where you are after you pass through that thing.
But since it... Do I have to give it verbal commands to know what I want it to do?
Yes.
Okay, never mind then. I really don't know what to ask for a third question because I'm already disappointing Kral apparently.
You don't know that.
Yeah, you have
Also-
no idea. I don't know you're even asking questions. I don't know I don't even know you're actually gone, right? I mean,
Right?
That's
You
true.
just-
Yeah.
all I see your
again-
specter standing over there. I figure you're still around. I'm waiting for people to decide what the hell to do.
You hear voices calling out from the other side of the portal. Kay, you still there?
Minute. I guess. Wait, can they hear me?
They hear you shout. You hear they hear you shout. Minute. You guys don't know where it's coming from though.
I'm gonna shout back. Give me a question. Any question you want to know the answer to.
Phoning a friend, are we? That's not really in the spirit of things, but
Uh,
I'll allow it.
I'll yell back. I just want to know how much longer you're going to be. We got stuff to do.
What's one question you've always wanted to know? I can give you a definitive answer here.
Why are you invisible?
Shut up. Answer my question.
Funny enough, as this conversation is going on, you hear almost like a laugh track, ha 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 ha, and that small Demi playing around you, Kay.
I look at him and be like, serious note though, can I have this place? It's
Maybe
super
if you.
cool.
I'm sorry, what?
I like this. This is neat. I wish I had a little place like this to study for myself.
You mean the Demi plane?
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll talk about it afterwards.
fair enough.
Does that count as his third question?
Yes.
God damn
At the end
it!
Out of character. Out
Hang
of
on.
character. Okay, go ahead.
At the end of this, the Mad Mage puts the tome down, stands up, and says, "Very well. Now then, the game has been set. The stakes have been raised. Ladies, gentlemen, fiends, and friends, give it up for our contestants on this 69th season of
Dungeon of the Mad Mage!
Might they brave the horrors of Undermountain and emerge victorious? And all around you, you hear, as if from some unknown location, thousands upon thousands of people clapping. And you hear, after it begins to die down, the Mad Mage say, "Your names are on the lips of thousands." What the hell have you gotten yourself into this time? And then you feel a spectral force throw you out of the portal. All of you, first off, he becomes visible all of a sudden as he basically gets thrown out of the bas-relief carving against the wall, right past both you, Julie, and Draloff. And then you see temporarily this portal form where the bas-relief carving is, and all of you hear the Mad Mage's voice say, "Before we get back to a show, we'd like to provide you a quick word from one of our sponsors. Tomorrow night on Enter the Arena, Githyanki Gish Eldraine squares off against a sycophant of ooze. Check out this stunning display of glory, guts, gore, and more on Enter the Arena!" And then the portal shuts.
Oh. Out of character.
Hey, Julie, did you hear that?
entirely.
There's an arena.
Why didn't you ask him like 3 questions, but have one of the simple questions be like, "What's 4 plus 4?" Because he said he was going to tell you the two true things and one false.
Because I already wasted 2 questions asking how to get the fuck through this place faster.
Yeah, but if you had done that, you would have known one of the other questions was false.
I didn't even want to waste my last question on that. Now I'm disappointed in myself. Fucking Kral.
Don't worry, it's not just him. Oh.
Came out of there pretty hard, Kay. Are you injured?
Just pissed. I'll stand up and walk away.
Did you learn anything?
Fuck no.
And then I guess we continue on.
Welcome to Undermountain, motherfucker.
God damn it.
I'm gonna open this door in front of me, Killy.
You know those characters that you love to hate? That's him right now.
I'm doing it well, then.
Arena would be fun.
All right.
Think they have snacks?
So,
I hope so.
opening the door beyond there, Bigo, you can see a small hallway that moves both up to the north and to the south.
Hallway north and south.
Yep. And go ahead and make a perception check as you make your way into this hallway.
Ooh, right on.
Hold on a second there, Drelov.
Yep. Someone's going in the pit.
And
Okay.
Jello's just running down the fucking hall like a kid looking for a fucking candy shop.
Drelov, you fall down the pit. No. But you make your way up to the north. You can see there's an arch sort of. There's a. Well, here, I'll move you up here so you can get a better look. Since we're doing that, you can see there's an arched passageway that curves off around to the north somewhere, and there is a doorway off on the immediate east.
Okay, as
And we cannot leave to go alone.
yeah, I was gonna say you may want to
I'm right here.
slow down a little, dwarf.
So you want to try the north, or do you want to go through the door?
Well, I'll tell you what. I can send my specter either one of those directions, so you get to decide.
We go through the door.
All right, then I will line up at the door.
Okay.
Put my specter beside me.
Is this something just with the artifact with the map, or is there something different here?
What do you mean?
There's like a
No,
black
just
corner here.
this wall looks different than everything else.
Oh,
It's
so?
like the curve. The curve didn't finish. It's like this area right here. Let me outline it real quick.
They can only draw
Right.
the they can only draw the dynamic lighting in certain ways. They can't do it in a perfect curve.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And I guess I'll send my specter through.
Just making sure, 'cause it just looked weird.
Okay.
Oh,
As soon as you send the specter through, you hear a bunch of multiple shouts, and all of a sudden, your specter gets pounded by all sorts of arrows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 arrows total. 6, 7, 10, 11, 12. And the AC is 12. Does he have any sort of special resistances?
it just dies. I'm not even gonna bother making you roll. That's 24 or 25 HP.
I mean, it's going to take half damage on all these shots,
No, that's fair. I guess try. I'm sure it's still dead, but
I think.
Well, wait. Roll the 2 crits first.
That's 5 points of damage. That wasn't the crit I rolled. That was another hit. 5, 7. Another 5 is 12. It gets half damage on every one of
is it
these
half
shots.
damage?
So, yeah. 5 and 2 is 7, and 5 is 12.
That's a shitload of bows.
And
I think it dies.
another 2 points there is 14. Another 4 points there is 18. 3 points there is 21. Yeah, that's going to die.
yeah, I thought
All
so.
right. So your specter goes through and it does not return.
I cry.
Single tear.
Well, something's on the other end of that waiting for us.
And you can hear shh from a bunch of voices on the other end after they kind of shout an exclamation.
Well, then let's go through the hallway.
Do you at least relate to us that it's dead?
Yeah, that's what I was like. Like, if there's something on the other end waiting for us because it didn't come back. I don't know if it's dead or not. I just know it didn't come back.
All right.
So I'm just gonna assume it's dead.
I'll follow Draloff up the hill or around
Okay.
the. Draloff, smaller steps forward, buddy.
Yeah, you don't need to leap across the map.
Yeah.
Julie follows reluctantly.
You were hoping to burst through and get into a fight, weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this did just arc around. I have a feeling.
So Draloff, go ahead and just make a stealth check for me.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to end well.
Vigo, you make one too. I believe you have to make what, depending on what your armor is, you may have to make yours disadvantage.
He definitely does.
It's heavy armor, but I am proficient in
chainmail.
heavy armor.
Yeah, but if it's chainmail or something, you have disadvantage. It's splint, so yeah, you definitely have disadvantage. So as you're making your way around the corner there, you can see that everybody's kind of focused on that door, a bunch of these goblins and stuff. And as you're kind of walking around, Vigo, they hear you coming and they're like, ah! And then charging out from around, you see as 4 bugbears kind of move their way around in your general vicinity. And as they jump out, they go, "All right, you lot, come on in." Wait a minute. What do you mean? Wait a minute. No. Hold on. Some of these blokes are the ones that won that Santa Thought tournament. What, really?
Uh-huh. We were in a tournament?
You weren't.
That's right, says Julie.
He says, nah, that's the one that beheaded the orc. Nah. Oh, yeah, that was pretty rad. I remember seeing that one. The goblins just kind of look around like, are we doing this? They're confused. What do you guys do?
I'll
Julie
step out
says-
and be like,
Julie says, "Help us, or I'll treat you like I did the others."
The one of them steps forward and he says, okay, look. Listen, we've seen you in the ring. We know what you're capable of, right? So, we don't want to fight you, and frankly, you don't want to fight us. I think that's kind of a given.
I'll form my weapon into a scythe and be like, that's what I like to hear, so I suspect, get out of my way.
Make an intimidation. Okay. So, let me do one of these real quick. Okay. They're not intimidated, but they say, fancy trick. Listen. You don't want to fight us, we don't want to fight you. So, let's come to an arrangement, yeah? And then one of the guys from behind him says, wait a minute. These might be the ones that took out that, these might be the guys that took out the vampire dudes up north. Yeah, the boss wasn't very happy about that. He said there was wasted assets.
What, do they all come from New York?
Yes.
Bensonhurst, actually.
Okay.
And Max says, listen. Wait a minute. And then another one says, they were also the ones that killed the Barley boys in the other chamber. Yeah, but they were assholes. Nobody cares about them. Listen. They're gone, and that vampire group up there is gone now, too, right? This is what I've been saying. With them gone, with them Barley boys gone, too, you know who controls his entire top floor? The Gricks? No, you idiot. We do.
I chime in. That is incorrect. I believe we do. And I look back at him.
Listen. Okay. We can come to an easy arrangement here. All right? We won't bother you. We'll send the word out to everybody else in the watch post on this floor. You guys can make easy access across the entire rest of the top floor while we're in charge. All you guys have to do is give us a tiny sum of money. 100 gold, toll.
I have a counter proposal. You shut up, give Julie all your money, and we will let you live.
And show us how to get to the next floor down, says Julie. And we'll be out of your hair.
Singe
said-
out like just goes, Grix.
The one who's talking says,
Listen,
hang on.
my guy's getting angry. He's not finding any good loot or treasure on this floor. Do you really want him any angrier than he already is? Give him your gold and let us pass.
Make an intimidation check.
Okay. I knew that was coming at some point.
The one who's been talking kind of backs up a little bit. He says, you know what? Shorak, you take care of this. Wait, what? Yeah. You got a hold of this. Fine. All right, listen, you. We're trying to be civil here. Me and my three brothers. And he turns around, and one of them's beginning to retreat. The one who was talking back a little bit further. He turns around and goes, "Wait a minute! What are you doing?"
Your buddy's running away.
From over there. I'm giving you full support from where I can. You idiot! Come back here. We're trying to do business. Yeah, no. I support you. You have my full support. Don't worry. I totally got your back on this.
I'll try. So what's it gonna be? You gonna give Julie all your gold, or are we gonna get let Julie go wild on your asses?
You got it, buddy. I'm just gonna grab something real quick. That's it. I'll be right back. Get back here, you at! No. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Good luck.
What's the price of this passage that you're asking?
100 gold, but we're not giving it to.
All right, listen. 50 gold. We'll cut the price down. Half passage.
Nope.
50 gold.
Nope. Deal is, you give Julie all your gold, and then you can have the rest of the floor and let us pass. Take it, or
He snaps
I
his
immediately
fingers
start
and all the
kind
He
of
snaps
pull
his-
into my pocket and start twiddling a diamond around in my fingers.
He snaps his fingers and all the goblins draw their bows. His two bugbear compatriots also draw their morning stars, and he says, "Are we really going to do this?"
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you open fire and he's got a bigger fireball than I think you can handle.
He smacks his morning star. He draws his morning star, smacks it down, and sneers. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Fuck.
It'll be over in 2 seconds, don't you worry. Huh. I clicked initiative. It did not roll my initiative. Let's try that again. There we go.
For Baron, that was a hell of a time to roll a 19.
All right, so who needs to be added to the initiative order? If anybody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm counting 6. I think we're okay.
Yep.
All right. Treverin, you're up on the go.
Not really wanting to burn any of Julie's treasure away, I take my diamond out. I'm focusing around my hands, and I cast this.
Okay. Presenting the gem out. Any number of creatures within range of 30 feet that can see you. His new spell. 30 feet from the Acquisitions Incorporated book. All right. I'm going to say it affects those guys. So, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gobos for wisdom saves, which they are not particularly wise. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. What is your DC?
15.
They all fail. I just put a little heart module on. They are all very much incited, as you expected they would, because after all, they're goblins.
And I figured it was the perfect time to bring it.
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that one up there, too.
And then I verbally tell, guys, do not attack these as an AE.
Okay. So the big tough guy resists the spell. There's the one guy who resists the spell. His two brothers behind him, on the other hand, are also very much incited. Alrighty. Done for your turn?
No, just because I feel like having fun. I'm also going to say, Taquito, come here. and cast this as a bonus action.
All right. Taquito. Okay, 3 sorcery points to summon a Hound of Ill Omen. The Hound uses the direwolf statistics. Let me go ahead and pull that out for you.
You know, the part about that spell that I genuinely like is the fact that all the ones that you've hexed are literally going to form a wall around you.
The Hound is size medium instead of large. Counts as a monstrosity, not beast. Appears with a number of temporary hit points equal to your sorcerer level, which I'll just add in its bar. You are level 6, so we're adding 6 to make its total 43. Can move through creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. 5 force damage, blah blah blah. Start of a turn, knows its target's location.
You want me to roll initiative for him?
Yes.
All right. So you gave, yeah, okay.
And which target are you using it against?
The
You have
one
to
that
call
didn't,
specific-
yeah, the one that
one that
didn't,
Okay.
get charmed. Perfect.
Hang on, I gotta change his name to Guido.
Yes.
How do you spell Taquito?
Phonetically.
TWAQWAT. Wait. TWAQUITO. There it is.
Okay. Taquito. Taquito.
Inside joke.
All right. Taquito, the dire hound, is summoned against the dude. I was trying to see if it says anything about where it spawns, but
I don't think it does.
appears in an
I-
unoccupied space of your choice within 30 feet of the target, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put him right next to him.
Yeah, that's fine. And I
Alright.
just say, eat.
Devour. Taquito! Alright. Anything else for your turn, you fantastic son of a bitch?
Nope, I'm good.
I love
All
the way
right.
it all rolled.
Imagine you
Vigo,
sing
you're
it
up.
like
I exclaim, "Holy shit!" at a dog that has just appeared in front of me. Comrades, back up. Form a choke point. And then I attack. Hold on. I need to make a perception to see. I mean, can we tell that they're just slack jawed, or do they
Go ahead and make an insight check. I'll let you do that as a freebie.
insight?
Yeah, you can tell that they're clearly affected by some spell that Treverin has going on.
Except for that one. Okay. Then I will focus on
Except
the
for the
one
one.
that is not affected.
Okay.
All right. First
Alrighty.
attack.
23 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. All right. You smack him. Coming through at the second Morning Star, he says, "Wait a minute. Doesn't that belong to..." Go ahead and roll damage for the second one.
16.
All right. He's badly injured, but not down for the count. Not yet. Anything else for your turn?
Then I will. Nope, that's going to be an opportunity attack. I will stay there.
Okay. Okay, you're up next.
I'm actually going to disregard Vigo's want for a choke point. I'm going to go charging in back here,
Okay.
pushing through everyone. And now that I'm back here, I'm going to do the old shatter.
All right.
I'm gonna
That's
put
going to
it
be a 10-foot range. Go ahead and drag that exactly where you want it.
Oops,
Right there.
right there.
Okay, that's going to clip you too.
I want to try and just hit those four like that.
Okay. It's...
You mean those 5?
Or those 5, yeah. Sorry, I want the guy on the left.
Okay. Where you have that circle now, it's going to clip this one goblin to the south that's charmed.
Screw it. I'll hit all 6 of them then.
All right. Okay. So they'll have to make con saves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2,
DC
3, 4,
15.
5, 6. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Just from right to left. 1, 2, 3. The one right next to you saves, and he takes what, half damage on a save? Yes.
Yep.
So the one right next to you is badly injured but still standing. The one that is charmed also is badly injured but still standing and no longer charmed. The remaining 4 die as the shattering causes blood to erupt from their ears.
That's my turn.
Okay. I just mark them all as dead. All right. At the end of your turn, they're up next. The 4 that are up in that northern area are going to all take shots at you. The 2 that are next to you swinging at you with their scimitars. Excuse me. The 2 that are away from you, this one's going to move up a little bit, fire at you with their short bows. So 2 attacks with the scimitar. That 23 should hit. 6 points. 2 attacks with the short bow. Both of them are going to miss. And then this one down here that is not charmed is going to maneuver his way up north to the door here. Up one more space. He's actually going to take a shot over at Treveran's direction. And 15 times with your armor class, that will hit you for 4 points. And I do need you to make a Constitution saving throw for Insight Greed. You are no longer focused on the spell, which means all the rest of them break out of it. I am afraid. Because of that,
I'm just saying, with the Insight Greed, weren't they supposed to move towards him
they were on their turn.
on their turn? All right.
You know what? I'll allow that. That's fair. I'll say that the ones that were charmed, move towards them on their turn, and that's as far as they get. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Probably be here, here.
They can't. Well, they can't push through you all that much. So
No, but just saying, 5 feet. You would have had one go there, and the other guys just get a little bit closer.
right. So they all kind of clump up in that general vicinity, and we'll call that good. Sind, you're up.
Hmm. I am.
This one will move up too, actually.
I'm going to move to here. And why the hell not? Cast that.
Okay. So let's turn that aura on. 15-foot aura. Why is it square?
Oh.
Shut off. All right. So spawning that. That'll affect any creature that starts its turn there on a success. Okay. So, what form do your spectral guardians take?
Oh, Dragonkin, as
Okay.
per usual.
Okay. Several dragonkin of different colors, presumably, flitter around you in spectral forms as they defend you and your allies against this onslaught of goblinoids. Anything else for your turn?
No, not for right now.
Okay. Drelloff, you're up.
Can I move? Can I move to?
You cannot move through a hostile creature space unless it is at least 2 sizes larger than you.
I'm pretty much stuck back here then.
Mm-hmm.
I have a longbow, don't I? Yeah. I'm gonna take a pop shot at that bugbear in front of Julie.
All right. Okay, that's going to be this guy back here. That does hit.
No, the one right in
You-
front of Julie.
The hurt one.
Oh, the
The hurt
hurt one. Oh, I see. Okay. Your arrow finds its way into. Well, let me ask you this: how do you want to do that?
Right in the eye.
Right in the eye? You hear, flank around you, imbeciles. And he falls dead. And because he falls dead, I'm afraid that Toquito disappears as well.
All right, and
Yep.
I still have another attack I can take, right?
Yep.
All right. Can I move up here and take bonus action and rage and start swacking at people?
You certainly can. Well,
I mean,
yeah, all out.
okay. And I'm gonna hit the goblin to my north.
Normally, I wouldn't allow you to swap weapons in the middle of a turn, but because it was the first round of combat, I'm going to argue that I guess you would have drawn your bow going into combat. So,
I am a generous god.
I'm a generous god. All right, you pull out your cauterizer and you're hitting what?
The one to my north, the goblin.
The goblin? Okay, go ahead and roll damage. He tries to raise his shield. He's too intimidated, too scared, and does not block it in time as he sees this raging dwarf barreling down the top of him, and you cleave him in twain.
He split Robin's arrow in twain.
There you go. All right, are you done for your turn, Drelov?
Yeah.
Okay. I also got to mark you as raging. All right. The remaining bugbears, or 2 remaining bugbears, go at the beginning of their turn. They're going to have to make the wisdom save against those spirit guardians,
14.
which they will both fail. Go ahead and just roll the damage
Oh, you
once
wanted
for
to
each
see-
of them.
Oh shit. Sorry.
Yeah, just click the spell. That's
yeah,
all.
Yeah. I had something else up. Hold on a second. Oh, God damn it.
You hear them both go, "No!"
Spirit Guardians. One apiece.
Just once
Okay.
for both of them. It's technically an AoE spell. Ouch. All right. Well, they both hear the call to flank around, and they're kind of scared of these guardians, so they're actually going to move around.
How'd he get
All
over
right.
there?
He dashed.
They can't go through us.
They're not going through you guys.
not going through
There's
you.
a
If they're going
fucking
through their
hallway
guy.
below it.
Julie, you're up.
Does Draloff get an opportunity attack when they take off?
Yep.
I mean, I need to make 2.
Nope. You only get 1 attack as a reaction. Nope.
Crit fail, of course.
Crit fail.
You smack your toe.
Man, you thought you were hot
You-
shit. You rolled
you
that
split your
high
toenail.
perception earlier.
All right, Julie, what are you doing?
I'm gonna make some room for people. I'm gonna step up to here, and I'm going to activate my Eye of Burning Blood, and I'm going to attack this guy here in front
All
of me.
right. You roar a battle cry, charging through 2 of the spectral guardians as they part ways for you. Taking your sword on high, you swing it down, and the goblin blocks it.
Hit him again.
You kick him in the nads, and then come with the upper swing on the greatsword. You cleave him in twain through the nads.
And I get my bonus attack on the one just south of him.
Okay. Yes, you hit. All right. You take that one out as well, chopping his head clean off. The goblins are beginning to look quite scared.
All right, I'm going to action surge and hit the other 2 to my south.
Okay. 10 misses. I assume you actually want to do that with advantage.
That was
All right, I will say-
that was a damage roll.
Oh, I'm sorry. So the 12 misses. The 24 does not.
All right, so the one directly to my south then. Because
One directly to your south is dead.
I
The
gotta
one- that one.
collapse my sheet. Yeah, that guy.
Okay. Let's go ahead and roll damage on him. All right. You turn him into shish kebab. So as you charge forward, the spectral guardians of the dragonkin provided by Singe, parting ways for you to move through. You go into a chopping frenzy empowered by the Eye of Burning Blood, managing to take out 3 goblins within the span of less than 6 seconds. And the remaining goblins are looking very terrified.
Now I don't get a on my second attack action because I killed one. I don't get I don't get another attack for that. I only get the one
No,
bonus
you'll-
attack,
You
regardless
only get the
of
one.
how many attack
Yeah,
actions.
because that bonus attack counts as your bonus action for the turn. You only get 1 bonus action, even with the action surge.
Just checking.
All right. Are you done moving? Anything else for your turn?
Yes, I am done moving.
Okay, Treverin, you're up.
All right, I know those bugbears moved south, but I don't know exactly where they went from where I.
Yep, you saw them
I am.
move
Yep.
south from where you are. You don't know exactly where they are.
Yep. So without knowing exactly where they're at, I am going to target this guy right here. And please do something other than stupid rolls.
24 hits.
Come on.
That's 3 and a 6, so fire or poison damage.
Let's do fire.
Okay, as you fire that bolt against the goblin, you hear as he lights up into like a Roman candle, and it turns into a burned, sharkened corpse. You see the other goblin turn around with wide eyes of fear as there is a satisfying left over as that goblin collapses.
And yeah, that's my turn.
Okay, Vigo, you're up.
Can I, with all this stuff, noise going on, can we hear them coming from behind?
Make a perception check. No.
Okay. I'll go there and attack that cat.
All right, go for it. Pushing over the corpse of one of the dead bodies, you make your way just to the edge of some of the spirit guardians and come down against the one goblin still inside of it. Coming down hard with the Morning Star, you cave the goblin's skull in, and it just collapses onto the floor. You are clearing a path through with the choke point you've created. Anything else for your turn? You still have a move, I believe, and if sure, you still have an attack.
Yep. I will go to this one.
Joining Kay within the fray, surrounded by the few remaining goblins, you come down against the other one, but he sees you coming, raises his shield, and manages to block your blow.
Bastard.
You shout at him, he just sneers back at you.
I guess move back means something different in this realm. That's it?
Kay, you're all right. Kay, you're up.
I'm gonna smack these two,
Smack the bitch up. Go.
and I'm gonna forgo defense and just cut these fucks in half. So great sword it is.
All right. The scythe disappears, making way for the greatsword as you come down. As you try to shift through one, it just kind of matrix dodges it. It's super impressive if it wasn't happening against you. And then you come through the other one, stunned by how impressive it was, and you just take his head off. Yeah, he had 1 hit point left.
Okay, yeah, he's dead.
All right.
And that'll be it.
Okay. The remaining goblins go next. One does start within Spirit Guardians and has to make a wisdom save. Which I believe he'll take half damage. So go ahead and roll your spell for that. Okay. He takes 5 radiant damage as the Guardians impact into him. He is going to shift just outside of it on top of the body of one of his dead compatriots, and taking a scimitar, he's going to attempt to attack you, Julie. Missing. The 2 remaining goblins are going to, well, excuse me, there's 3 remaining goblins, are going to forgo their bows, draw their scimitars, and charge down at you, Kay, hoping to finish you off. With the exception of the one behind you, who, after having Vigo come up upon him, is going to take his scimitar into him. Starting with the attack again on Vigo. That's going to be a miss. 2 attacks against you then, Kay. Both of them are going to miss as well.
The 19 will hit because I'm at 18 because I don't have a shield on.
Oh, you're correct. All right, thank you for that. So you're going to take 6 points of damage as one of the scimitars cuts against your arm. You try to parry it, but you're not quick enough. Singe, you're up.
Singe is going to stay where he's at, and I'm going to hold my action, an attack action, for anything that might get close to me.
Understood. Drelloff, you're up.
I'm going to move to here. Is that possible?
15, 20. Let me see. You were here, and you're moving here.
No, 1 square in front, but yeah, it's about 25 to 30.
So about there.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say you're probably going to take that route, and that should be fine.
Okay. I'm going to swing. Hold on a second. I'm going to reckless attack.
All right.
That gives me advantage. I'm going to swing the one to my left first.
Okay. 26 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. In a raging fury, you come down barreling past your compatriots against the 2 goblins that have assaulted Kay, and being momentarily stunned, you come down hard against the healthy-looking one and just take him out in one fell blow. Moving your axe from his skull, the other one looks up at you and just closes its eyes. As your axe comes down on top him, delivering him to whatever foul god he may worship.
That ends my turn.
Okay. The remaining bugbears are going to push their way out looking down the chamber, and they are actually going to fire javelins from their backs at range down against you, Singe. Because they see the Spectral Guardians and they're not fans.
Alright.
Sure that 18 will hit.
It does.
Alright. You're
Hold
taking
on.
5 points of damage.
Let me
And then I do
roll.
need you to make that Constitution saving throw. Alright, you're still focused on the spell. And once they get that out, they are going to duck back behind cover. Julie, you're up.
Sorry, that goblin to the south of me has to die.
Alright, go for it.
Oop, just take the first roll.
Okay, we'll count 19. And that will hit. Alright. The goblin quickly tries to scurry away before you can do much else to it, but it's not quick enough, and you just manage to chop down on top of it.
And I'll move here and attack that other goblin.
Alright, go for it. 23 hits, go ahead and roll damage. Alright. You managed to take off the head of that one. The goblins that were part of this room all seem to be gone.
Oh, I don't get to use my bonus attack. Oh, well.
Yep. Alright. We start at the top of the round with Treverin.
I pat the halfling on the head.
Okay. As a bonus action, you pat Vigo on the head. Vigo, it's a little demeaning. Treverin, you're well aware of these 2 bugbears that are hiding behind you, firing javelins.
Okay. And I'm going to move to here. I should be able to see this first one, right?
Correct. Alright, go ahead and roll damage. That certainly hits. You watch as the bolt manages to cut the corner just in time to where it impacts him hard. It's going to be either cold or fire.
Yeah, fire.
Okay. It impacts hard into him. As his fur kind of goes up in flames, he goes, I'm too old for this. And you hear the other one go, ah, shit. Alright, you done for your turn.
Yep, I just stand there and
All right, Vigo, you're up next.
Oh, I don't know what's going on behind us. I'm not happy with what happened, so I will use one of my attacks to trip this dude, knock him down.
You mean Julie, your compatriot?
Yeah, I'm not happy
Okay.
about the head pat.
Okay. You go ahead and make a contested. You can use athletics, Julie. You can use either athletics or acrobatics.
It's like Thor after.
It's like Thorn the
Thorn
Hulk.
Hulk.
Okay. You try to knock him down, and Julie just kind of stands there like a log as you're trying to push against him. And Julie, to you, it's kind of cute. It's like the little guy's pushing against you, like, stop it.
Quit fooling
Well-
around. Julie just doesn't even realize. She's just like, quit fooling around, little guy. Let's clean up around here.
Well, I do have one more.
Go ahead and make another athletics check, Julie. Nope,
Damn.
nothing doing.
And let's see.
All right.
So what do you get? That's
I kick him in the shin.
If he
You have
moves,
a bonus action.
I'm going to take an opportunity attack if he moves.
Vigo?
Gonna try to push him over.
Hey, he started it.
Okay. Are you taking the opportunity attack then?
Yeah, I'm going to shove him.
Okay.
Shove him down.
Technically, you can't push him as an opportunity attack. That has to be an action on your turn.
He trips him.
I can't like trip or otherwise shove or. I just the only thing I can do is swing my sword. I mean, I can't. An opportunity attack is like just anything I can do in an attack action.
Yeah, it's an attack action.
Hang on.
The pushing is an attack action.
You can make an opportunity attack when a hostile creature you can see moves out of your reach. You use your reaction to make one melee attack against a provoking creature. The attack occurs right before the creature leaves. You know what? Fuck it. I'll allow it. Go ahead and make an athletics check there. then,
I did.
Vigo.
I did. I'm just gonna shove him.
Yeah,
Shove him down.
Okay.
Right
Okay,
here.
Vigo, go ahead and make an athletics check. Okay. Vigo, you try to move out of Julie's way in order to push back around, and he pushes you to the ground.
That's not very far.
I said knock it off. Now come on, help out. Stop being a nudge.
He calls you an orcish word. You don't recognize what it means.
That's it. That ends my movement.
Okay. Okay, you're up. You see this happen.
Yep.
Yep.
I will say that's uncalled for, but I don't know. I'll let them figure it out.
Okay. Are you doing anything?
Well, I suppose I'll head back to the hallway and see if I can't help out with whatever's going on back here.
All right.
But if I can
After
see
you
anything-
you walk past by the halfling who's been knocked on his ass. Singe, you're up next.
Yeah. Let me just double check. Can I get to there, Killy?
Yep.
Okay.
The guardian's following you. You hear the last bugbear go, ah, crap.
All right. I'm going to get here, but before I swing on him, and I entered his area, so he shouldn't have to roll yet. It's if he enters
No,
my
not until the
area.
beginning of his turn. Right.
Right. Well, yeah, or if on his turn he were to enter the sphere. I'm going to say I'm going to stop and I'm going to say if you want to live, throw down your weapon and tell me what a grits is.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
And by the way, if he is hostile, I'm attacking him.
I mean, he's still pretty hostile. So, he stops for a minute, but he looks like he's not quite sure whether or not he's going to believe you. Or so, you take the warhammer, you swing it into him, saying this. He raises up his shield and blocks the blow.
Okay, real fast. I hadn't checked this only because w since the last time we took a long rest, I don't remember resetting my channel divinity.
You haven't used it yet, so you would still have charges.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to take another swing at him.
All right, War Priest. That'll hit.
Now, I'd like to if it does lethal damage, I'd like to try to just knock him unconscious.
Okay, go ahead and roll your damage. Okay, it does actually do lethal damage, so I will say you knock him unconscious. Ah, okay. Oh, I'm unconscious. You're out of combat.
I'm unconscious. Okay. I should have rope. I'm going to tie him up.
Okay, done. In the meantime, you guys are out of combat.
Julie, I'll help the halfling up and tell him, let's start searching these bodies for anything useful.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna go to this one who didn't listen to my demands and just look at him and said, "Well, I guess you should have listened." Walk off.
Kelly, before I group up, I'm gonna try to drag him over here. I don't want like the whole group to see, because I'm the only one that went around the corner. I'm just gonna say to them, look, everything's fine over here. I'll be back with you in a minute. And I want to take him down here and whatever I have to do to wake him up. If I have to throw a healing word on him, I just want to get him to tell me what a grits is.
Okay.
I
For
legit
now,
thought
he's...
I'm sorry. I legit thought you were going to say that you took him around the corner to eat him.
That's what I was thinking.
No, he is alive, and I am chaotic good. So
Okay, so he's going to be knocked unconscious for probably a while. You'd have to wait until he kind of recovered a little bit, or you would otherwise have to, shove a healing potion or heal him in some way. I will say, for those of you who are in this chamber, a couple of things. First off, you can see in the alcoves in this small chamber to the north of you, there are several like goblin bunk beds that have been made against those alcoves. And on the northern end, there's actually a 14-foot tall granite obelisk that has a lidless carved eye near the top of its south-facing side, the face that's looking at the rest of you. And the bottom half of the obelisk is covered in dirty, bloody handprints. And as you're searching the bodies, go ahead, whoever is, just go ahead and make a perception check. Okay. So Vigo, you know where to look on goblin bodies, despite being in a different realm. It seems like they still hide things in the same general, on the same general person. Yeah, in fact, you find them in the alcoves near the bunk beds. There are several various coin pouches that amount to a total of a fairly meager sum for the goblins themselves, only about 30 gold pieces. The bugbears themselves, the ones you've taken out, are all holding 25 gold a pop, for a total of 105 gold total, I suppose.
I toss the pouches on the ground. I don't want them.
Okay.
Here's the gold or the treasure that started this whole mess.
Kill.
Mm-hmm.
I am gonna burn a healing word on him, but he is tied up.
Yep, so he can't move. He's disarmed and everything. Just go ahead and just roll your healing word.
I did already.
Oh, you did? I'm sorry.
7
hit points.
Yeah.
Okay. As he's kind of off in the corner, you hear, 5 more minutes. What's going on here? Who are you? Wait, what?
Okay, as I hear you approach, I'm gonna say, just stay there for a moment.
Oh, okay. I'll creep back around the corner.
I'm gonna.
Did we?
Hmm?
I was saying, did we kill a goblin way down south? I see that one body there.
Nope.
Oh,
So
okay.
as you're looking at that, sorry to interrupt this. As you're looking at that, you do know. Oh, I'm sorry. He's not supposed to be there.
Oh, okay. So nobody there. Gotcha.
Nope, nobody.
While he's tied up, I'm going to do 2 things. One, I'm going to cast this.
Okay.
Okay.
Hang tight.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I'm going to proceed to question him. One, I'm
Okay.
going
What
to
do you?
say, first I want to know, what is a grits? One of your
Ah,
companions mentioned it.
he says. They are underdark predators. Patrol the halls of this chamber and ambush people.
Are there many here?
They hide out in the tunnels to the east.
To the east. What were you and your compatriots doing down here?
We were sent here to guard and look for treasure for Xanathar.
So you're part of the Xanathar Guild.
Yes.
Okay. Were there many more of you?
We were the last foothold.
Last foothold. What else have you run? What else? You're a scouting party for Xanathar. I'd like to know what you were told about this place before you came down here.
He says. He has to tell the truth. He says, there's a few more of us to the south, I think. Hidden passage.
Hidden passage, you say? Is it easily marked?
He says, hidden stone on the south wall of a large map room to the south.
Okay. Now, my last question for you. Do you truly wish to live?
I don't want to die.
Then I'm going to untie you.
Okay.
I suggest that you make your way out of here with much haste past my fellow compatriots, because I don't think they're going to give you the same option. Is it a deal? Do you promise to leave?
Of course.
All right. I'm going to untie him.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, hold on a second. I'm going to walk up here, and I'm going to see Kay standing here, and I'm just going to be like, I'm going to Princess Bride it, and gonna be like, oh my God, what is that horrible thing? And point back behind his shoulder.
See, the thing is, my whole idea for being here was eavesdropping on you, and I'm 100% in agreement with you. So
Okay.
I literally I just give you like the 2-finger salute.
Okay.
When you walk around the corner.
He does that, and believing that you have your compatriots sufficiently distracted, Kay, you watch as over Sinja's shoulder, this bugbear just goes quickly picking up his morning star and just charges behind you out around the corner.
You're too much of a kind soul, you know that?
I saw no reason to kill the poor beast. As I bend down and start eating the hand of the other bugbear.
God, I still will never get used to that, and I start walking away.
There's a Kodak moment. I saw no reason to kill the poor beast as he's holding the severed hand of one of the other ones and starts chewing me down on it.
It goes down like, did you ever see like a duck eat where they go, like they point their head up in the air and they just kind of
Yes.
like, yes, there you go.
Like their jaw on hinges and it just falls down their throat.
Okay.
Singe eats like a duck. All right. So, like I said, in this big chamber, there is this 14-foot obelisk that has bloody handprints at the bottom of it.
Let's go, comrades. Figure out what we're going to do. I'm sure the sound
like
of our
to inspect
battle
the
has
obelisk.
not been unnoticed.
Okay. As you inspect the obelisk, it is carved out of granite, 14 feet tall. It stands on a small, sort of stand of sorts, and like I said, it has bloody handprints, at the bottom of it.
Is there like any carvings on it or scratches? Did the bloody handprints look like they're pushing some type of depression?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
There's nothing that suggests that there is any sort of depression that you can see.
Okay.
Oh, god damn it! Why am I stuck? Jesus.
Inspecting the handprints themselves, do they look like they're human? Do they look like they're a goblin? Maybe these guys that we killed were somehow fidgeting with it?
They, upon inspection, it looks like they're various humanoids, mostly goblin.
Okay. Oh.
But
I'm gonna mosey on down to the south here, Killy. And while I'm not 100% sure where that secret door might have been, I'm just going to check this general area for what he
Oh.
mentioned.
okay, as soon as you make your way there, the floor swings out from under you and you start falling. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
That's sure.
As you fall down a 30-foot pit that's hiding at the bottom of that area.
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay. So, yes, that body was supposed to be there. You just weren't supposed to see it yet because there's a trap down there. So, you fall down a 30-foot deep pit, taking 8 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall, plus another 14 points of damage from the spikes at the bottom.
Okay.
And you guys hear as he falls down there. At the bottom, Singe, as you kind of unimpale yourselves, you do see impaled through the skull is the body of one dead goblin down there.
Is there anything on the body?
You can see there is a scimitar, a short bow, and a quiver with 9 arrows near his impaled corpse. Also hanging around his neck is what looks like a desiccated dwarven thumb.
I'll take the dwarven thumb.
Okay. You think he was probably holding onto it as some sort of charm.
Mm-hmm. I yell back up. Could someone lower a rope?
I will lower some rope.
Okay. Without worrying too much about making checks, because Vigo's pretty strong, you're able to pull this dragonborn out.
Okay. With that said, I do not notice any secret passage, right?
Nope, just a secret pit.
Okay. So, presumably, if that guy was telling the truth, this is not the secret passage.
No.
Okay.
That was just something you unfortunately stumbled upon.
Yeah, I'm going to tell the party that that I think there may be another passage full of goblins further south. I don't think it's a good idea to leave our bats undefended.
Oh, good. Let's go kill them. Doody doo,
Oh.
going to kill some goblins. Kill the things and take their stuff. Dude.
Oh, and because I got hurt a little there, I'm going to burn cure wounds on myself.
Sure. All right. You begin making your way to the south. It's a long hallway that curves around at a perfect angle and continues further on down.
All right.
All right.
Listen at the door.
Okay. Vigo and Dreloff, and to a lesser extent the rest of you as you begin to approach the south, even as you begin to approach the door, you can hear the sounds of someone howling madly on the other side of the door.
Mom?
Ready for battle. Open the door.
Okay. Peering through the other side of the door, you can see there is on the western wall here, a 30-foot wide floor-to-ceiling map carved into there. In the middle of the room is this 10-foot square open pit, and you hear a voice emanating out from underneath of it.
Hey, Kelly.
You there!
You're getting kind of crunchy, Killy.
Yeah, it's
Hang
not
on.
just the voice thing. It's
Hang on, it's the. Let me
Discord.
I think some connection. Let me set the server settings real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
I don't know why it keeps doing this.
Because Discord is a pain in the ass sometimes.
Yeah, I swear they do this sort of shit when every Wednesday night. Am I coming through better now?
Yeah, you're good now. Go ahead.
Okay. So you hear a voice from this 10-foot deep pit cry out,
You there! Answer my call and join me on a quest for justice.
and Vigo, as you approach the very, very corner of the pit, you can see
Oh.
the walls are incredibly smooth, and at the bottom is a standing corpse of what looks like a bloodied half-elf who is so bruised that he is green and purple. His arm is bent at an angle that it was never meant to be bent at, and one of his eyeballs is hanging by a tatter of flesh. He meets you with his one good eye and says,
In the name of Joaquin, hallowed be her name, I compel you. Free me so I may avenge my death and join her grace in the gilded afterlife.
Do I know who Joaquin is? Because I assume we all hear this.
make a religion check. Okay, you don't. Singe, Vigo, you don't. Singe, you wouldn't know anyway. Singe, you know that Joaquin is one of the minor gods, but she is the god of merchants and coin and fair trade.
So not an evil pantheon god.
No,
Um,
not typically.
I suggest to Vigo that we try to help the.
No.
No.
Yeah. No, I was nothing. Go ahead.
I suggest to Vigo that we try to help this poor unfortunate up.
I have I ever encountered one of these? Whatever this thing is.
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm gonna say
Depends
no.
on your background as a history person. I will say if you're curious, would my character know this? I will allow you to go ahead and make a history check to see if you know what this is. Okay. Based on the appearance of this creature and the fact that he is still lucid, you're familiar with undead. You've fought undead for as long as you can remember. This particular creature strikes you as something known as a revenant. And revenants are usually souls that have met an unjust end and have come back from the dead in order to mete out justice or vengeance for their unjust death.
I don't know about helping this abomination that's at the bottom. It's undead is not a friend of the living.
He says,
I am no foe of yours, though I do have living foes in these halls. My treacherous brethren beat me to death for demanding an equal share of the treasure.
I look at Vigo and say, the only way he's going to be a free spirit is if we let him do what he wants, or do what he needs to.
Yes, but how do we know this abomination speaks the truth?
he
This
says,
tale that he tells could very well be a bold-faced lie.
he says,
Assist me, and I will aid you in your travels through this dungeon, for as long as I am able. I can show you the secret path that leads to the next level.
If he truly is a revenant, he really only has one thing on his mind. I'm willing to bet he is.
Well,
I
since
toss
we
a
are,
rope down to help him out.
okay.
my vote is nay, but we adventure together as a team, so
Okay. You toss the rope down, which he grabs, and he begins to pull himself up. Assuming you let him, he will do so.
Yeah.
Okay. He climbs out and says,
Your assistance is most welcome. Know that I was once Hal of Gog, cleric of Joaquin. I seek to avenge my death at the hands of the fine fellows of Daggerford.
and he practically spits their name.
I will chime in and say, do you believe these fellows are still down here?
He says,
I know they're down here. Below us even. Not far.
as a as a fellow as a fellow fuck me as a fellow person of the cloth, we would be glad to help you, so long as you are telling us the truth. But beware, your reason for vengeance had best be what you just told us.
He
Or
says,
I have been sent back to avenge my unjust death by Joaquin, hallowed be her name. This is merely a minor obstacle before I join her in the gilded afterlife.
okay, um, with
and
the,
he will actually shift down to the south, and you see him press a small button towards the south, which reveals a secret passage beyond.
does it appear like the? Do I assume that this is the same silver or the same thing that I was told of?
Yes, most likely.
Okay.
And again, for what it is worth, on the entirety of the western wall, there is this 30-foot wide floor-to-ceiling map that is carved in there.
What's the map of?
It looks like an elaborate image that, based on what you see, is actually a cross-section map of Undermountain itself. You can clearly see Mount Waterdeep at the very top, and 23, I did do it right, hollowed-out dungeon levels below it.
How?
Each dungeon
Oh, good.
Each dungeon has its own stylistic side view, but there are no names or details included to suggest what a level is called or what it contains. There are 3 features that do stand out. On the 3rd level is the bas-relief carving of a flaming skull. On the 16th level is the bas-relief carving of a comet. And on the lowest level, the 23rd level, is a bas-relief carving of a tower with a tiny rune engraved upon it.
What's the rune look like?
Make an Arcana check. It's going to be high DC.
I turn to the guys and say, if you guys want to take a short rest, give me some time so I can kind of make a sketch of this map into my journal for future reference.
Okay.
And then, Kelly, you said 3rd flaming skull, 15th was a basilisk?
16th is 16th is a comet,
Comet. Okay.
and 23rd is a tower with a tiny rune. Inspecting the rune itself, you don't recognize what it is. It almost looks like a key symbol going through a curved line.
Okay. Would I be able to remember this for later, possibly? I mean,
Possibly.
assuming Treveran's not making a copy of whatever he's. And this is carved into the wall?
Yes. All right. So are you guys taking a short rest in here while he does that, or what are you doing?
I would recommend that be the best thing if that's what Treveran recommended.
That's what I'd like to do, but if y'all want to continue on without a map, yeah.
No, I'll take a short rest.
Haleth will say,
Rest if you must, but let us not tally any further than needs be.
I will gladly take a short rest.
okay. So while you're taking a short rest, and Treveran, while you're actually sketching through with the map, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay.
As you're sketching out the map, and especially looking at those 3 symbols, you note that those 3 symbols are actually buttons.
Hey, Kay, come look at this. These symbols actually look like they could be depressionable buttons or something that may trigger something. Why don't you study it with me?
Sure. I'll walk over and give it a good old eye over.
Okay. You can see again there are the 3 symbols: the flaming skull, the comet, and the tower on the 3rd, 16th, and 23rd levels respectively. Looked like you can press them like buttons.
I guess, do we give it a shot? I'm asking Treveran.
I, Do you see anything about them? I mean, I'm trying to figure out why they would be there. It feels like it's a trap, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I need some additional thoughts.
Well, my first thought is, could these be locations that we need to look forward to, possibly? Like, not necessarily press the buttons here, but further down the line?
Hmm.
Kelly, what? I didn't catch this guy's name.
Haleth Gark.
Halef. Um, do you know anything about this map behind you? Or
It
behind
is a
us?
map of all of Undermountain.
Yeah, but what about these buttons?
I cannot say that I know. I was killed before I got the chance to inspect them.
I'll tell you
Looking
what.
at the buttons, do I sense that any of his friends pressed any of these buttons before continuing on? Do they look like they have are they totally covered in dust? Do they look cleaned?
They're not totally covered in dust. There's the sense that there have been many, many fingerprints that have pressed them before.
And there's no additional bodies laying around.
No.
Oh, at this point, I bring up to the guys that I have a good idea that there are grits, which are which are underdark scavengers slash beasts that roam these halls. So just beware. And if they don't
You know what?
ask me how I know that, I'm not sharing it with them.
Out of sheer curiosity, Kay's just gonna press the first button.
Okay. Which one will that be? The comet, the tower, or the skull?
Top of the tower.
The tower itself? Okay. You hear a disembodied voice speak out in common.
Gate access to Hallister's Tower from level 23 only.
Huh. So I guess I was kind of right.
So it kind of seems like, based on that maybe each floor has the same map,
I'm gonna guess these are like quick
kind of like a
travel
"You
buttons.
are here" map.
Well, I'm gonna go down and press the next button down the line then.
Okay, it'd be up. The next button up would be the comet, and then finally the flaming skull on the third level.
Before I see him go to reach for that button, I'm just going to take one step into this room.
Okay. It is a well-carved hallway, by the way, that just curves down to the south. You can see there's been a sense of several humanoid footprints that have traveled. All right. And Kay, you're pressing which button?
The next button up.
Okay, that would be the comet. You hear another disembodied voice say,
Gate access to Stardock from level 16 only.
This is stupid. This is Julie.
I'm gonna press the next one up.
all right, the final button is the flaming skull, and you hear another voice say,
Gate access to Skullport disabled.
Huh. No, 4-0, just disabled.
that's what you hear.
Well, okay. What if I repeatedly press the skullport button? Just like when someone's like trying to shut the elevator door, like smacking the button.
Gate access to gate access to gate access to skull gate access to skull.
Okay. Well, I guess we should look for those access points. I'll also use my hit dice.
Okay.
I see Vigo come up and say, let's continue down this way. And, oh god damn it, I forgot his name already. That's how bad a day of work it was.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Haleth Gark.
Halef. Remind me, Halef. Okay. Halef, come on up here if you say your murders were this way.
Yes.
Walk to the front, Revenant, so I can keep my eye on you.
Don't get any funny ideas, halfling.
So while we're walking, though, I'm going to ask Treverin. First off, how did you manage to gain access to a Voidhound from the Shadowfell? And second of all, Taquito?
Well, you see, when I was a young lad growing up in the Feywild, I had a lovely little blink dog named Taquito.
Part of me
Yeah, that
wants to
story works
dream
as good as any.
Part of me wants to believe that's actually your dog from the Feywild reborn. Like, you found him in the Shadowfell and went, I miss you so much, and brought him back to life.
It's canon. Write it down. It's canon.
It's like
Okay.
Arthas'
Treverin
horse.
summons his childhood hound from the Shadowfell to aid in him in his combat.
Adding it to my background.
Okay.
You've led us to some dead end. Is this a trap?
Hardly.
He presses another button, and the door in front of you opens.
Would that be to the east? Okay, the east. Okay.
And he steps forward and down.
Is there anything in the room?
You can see a set of stone stairs that descends down into the darkness, which is where Hallis seems to be moving. Just around the corner, you can see there is a statue, a deformed granite statue of what looks like a dwarven king of some kind. However, sprouting from his neck is a deformed, mostly featureless second head that has an elongated tooth, almost like a narwhal. And there are inscriptions on the pedestal that have since been worn away.
Anything upon closer inspection?
Make a perception check. So a couple of things. You'll notice on his brow there is an engraved stone circlet, and his hands are grasping the handle of some sort of stone warhammer, the head of which is planted at his feet. And upon close inspection, it looks like the warhammer is a separate piece of stone that you could actually rotate.
I carefully rotate the warhammer, but I just fell in a 30-foot pit a little while ago. I'm getting ready to spring out of the way if anything untoward happens. I also, before I start doing that, I'm going to tell Haleth, please stay with us. We will help you with your cause, but we need to make sure that there is nothing that could harm us around here.
Okay. He merely grunts as he waits. And you said you're just carefully turning the stone?
Yeah.
Okay. You quietly turn the stone of the hammer itself. And as you do, it eventually clicks into place, and all of you watch as the statue itself actually begins to shift and rise by 3 feet. And as it rises by 3 feet, you can actually see hidden underneath the statue is what looks like a small indent in a secret compartment, if you will, that contains a golden circlet identical to the one that the statue itself is wearing. However, it is very much a gold circlet.
I'm going to reach in, but I would like to check for traps while doing so.
Perception check. Okay. You don't sense any traps, and you're able to grab the golden circlet. However, from behind you, you hear a couple of grunted voices go, "Ugh! What's going on out there?"
Look, we already killed your friends in the room upstairs. I suggest you go back in your little hole.
Wait, them's the ones that Mac warned us about. Oh. Wonder if the others are dead.
I'll approach and say, yes, your others are dead. I would suggest you make a wiser decision and give me all your gold.
We don't have any gold. Yeah, no gold here.
Somehow I find that hard to believe. You've been searching for treasure for as long as y'all been down here and you have no gold.
Treasure? We just want food.
Food?
You know how hard it is to get a bite down here?
No, but I do have a friend that thinks you're food. Would you like to meet him?
No. Now? No.
How
Okay.
Well,
how
I would
many of
suggest you
are
make a
here?
wise decision and leave this
They
place.
just- They just kind of go back into their corner and wait.
Ow, that hurt.
Stairs over there. See you later.
I go by Singe. I said there's some free food in there if you want to go get it.
How this
Head
says.
back over.
Are we finished here?
Kelly, I'm gonna say, Halath, please give us a second. I'm going to approach down this way and just see if I can see anything down the hall, which I assume is here.
There's a couple of frescoes of different doors kind of along the hallway itself, but nothing stands out to you.
I call out to Drelo. Drelo, come here. There's something you should see down here.
Nope, he said frescoes. I'm not getting near him.
You didn't hear him say frescoes. I saw frescoes.
He's right, you know. You don't know how many frescoes down there. Dreloff, as you approach the frescoes, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, I figured that shit.
As you approach the frescoes, nothing happens. I'm fucking with you. Ha 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 ha.
All right.
I point
Never
my
seen
weapon at
a
these
one tomb
bugbearers.
tormented by frescoes ever.
I say, how many? You are not alone here. How many more of your comrades are around?
He says, just the lackeys scrabbling over scraps up north. And the two big uns.
How many?
Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah, Dreloff, as you're kind of peering around the corner, you can see there are well over a dozen goblins that are in the middle of squabbling with one another. So loud they are that they don't even notice as you're kind of peering around the corner. And as you're looking around, you can actually see that there is one goblin, which is not marked on the map, is actually lying dead against the wall, clearly the victim of some sort of argument.
I also see a door in there.
Yes, there is a door behind them, it appears. And as you're asking this to the bugbears, Vigo, you hear one of them go, 20 or so, I can't count, 20 or so gobos and the two-head folks.
Two-head folk.
Big giants. I'd rather not bother them if I were you.
Well, I say we move on.
Before we go too much further, I'm going to approach Halath, and I'm going to say, where do those stairs lead?
He says,
To the second hole under mountain, and my comrades.
Do you still want our help in defeating them?
I'll get my revenge with or without your help. Though it is dangerous to wander these halls alone.
Goodbye.
Then I suggest you wait for us here. You did promise to help us if we got you out of the pit and helped you seek your justice. I'm holding you to that promise. What does a few minutes one way or the other mean to one that's undead?
make a persuasion check.
I can't believe it, but I agree with the Revenant. Our task or our goal is to go further to the Mage's Tower, which is below. We should head below.
He says,
The halfling, for all his posturing, is right.
I do hate to leave foes behind us, though.
Yes, it is not tactically wise to leave your back unguarded with enemies, but it does not seem like they are going to follow, or else they would have been down below themselves.
the Revenant responds,
Know well, halfling. In Undermountain, your back is always to an enemy.
um,
Either
Did we
that
ever
or an
grab the actual
unstable
circlet?
ally.
I did.
Okay, so you have it. All right. Just
Yeah.
want to make sure we grab it.
Yep. Make a note of that, by the way.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I haven't actually written shit in my bio, but I will write it here.
I turn towards Julie and say, "Hey, Julie, since the treasure on this floor is so bad, do you want to go downstairs and see if we can find better treasure?"
Yes, God, please.
I look at the group and
Brunch's
say,
one
"You know
eye.
what?
Yes, please.
Let's go find Julie some real treasure, because this treasure here seems, been picked clean already."
Let's find the
Probably-
arena. I bet they have snacks.
I bet they have snacks, he said.
All right. What do you do?
I suggest we put it to a vote as to whether we proceed further down or we leave these orcs alone to our north. Or,
Gobos.
bugbears, goblins to the north.
Bobos, whatever.
I
You
say
know
we leave
my-
them alone and just proceed.
You know my mind on it. I've already spoken it.
Alright. Then Halath, it looks like your justice is closer than I thought. And then I'll follow Halath down.
Okay. So everybody's making the way downstairs.
Making my way downtown.
Moving fast, taking slow.
Meh, meh, meh.
All right. Let me get some character tokens in place right quick. As you begin to descend down the stairs into the other level of Undermountain. Oops.
Where we get the right tauntauns. And look for George Lucas.
As you're descending downstairs, all of you hear a disembodied voice. Hang on. All of you hear a disembodied voice say out loud, "And so, the great pale and bitter victory of the first level of Undermountain behind them, our newest contestants delve deeper, and we at home must wonder, who are these blind fools? What do they want? Who do they wish to be? What horrors shall they face next? Who shall fall, and who shall live under the shadow of failure? Find out all these and more next time on
Dungeon of the Mad Mage!
And maddening music begins to play in your head as you hear another disembodied voice say, "This episode is brought to you by the Coalition of Material Planar Astronomers, who would like to warn you of the supermassive black hole developing just outside your star system. The worlds of Eberron, Oreth, Turil, and Aethys are advised to seek refuge on the astral plane immediately." And the maddening music continues as you descend down into darkness into level 2.
I like this place.
All right. You descend down through darkness to level 2 of Undermountain.
All right, well, let's see what's here to kill us.
Kill the things and take their stuff. Do. Kill the things, kill all the things, take their stuff. Chop them up and eat their bits.
Julie is crafting a particularly noteworthy song from the music that plays as you descend down.
I
You
should
hear
be a bard.
Haleth. You hear Haleth say as you descend down the stairs,
About what
I
time
can
of day is it, Killy?
You have no idea. You're underground.
Okay.
You hear Halvis say,
I sense one of them. To the east.
Oh, by all means, lead the way.
all right. He pushes forward. As you enter in, you find yourselves at a junction. You can hear in the distance hammers pounding against wood in the distance. And you can hear, although faint from here, there are guttural languages sprinkled with cuss words from Orcish, Dwarvish, and Common. You can't hear any sort of details. In the room, as you enter in, you can see trash and debris kind of litter the floor in here. And the walls themselves are adorned with bas-relief carvings that look like they may have once depicted dwarves carrying supplies. However, their faces have been chipped away at and have been completely replaced with cartoonish-looking goblin heads that have been drawn in charcoal.
Okay.
What do you do?
Is there anything
Move.
special about
Mo-
said room?
You can hear the sound of hammer banging against nail and wood to the north. And Hallis seems to be intent on heading in that general vicinity.
I'll follow Haleth.
Okay.
At
Person Joe, who we must kill.
a little distance.
Okay. He enters into, and you can make out where the loud banging is coming from. Inside this chamber, there is a roaring 60-foot high ceiling that is supported by these 2 rows of stone pillars. In the middle of this chamber, there are several haphazard vendor stalls that have been taken up by a multitude of goblins that look like they're hawking wares to a couple of random passers-by in here. They don't pay you a whole lot of mind as you enter in, though there are some guards in this chamber that are keeping a close eye on you as you enter in, and especially on the undead revenant, who seems to be leading the charge past you. On the northern wall, far in the distance, is a granite throne on top of a regular stone dais. And furthermore, it looks like a couple of the goblins are banging against. Well, let me hang on a second. Is that in here? Nope, I take that back. Nothing's. You do hear the banging of hammer and nail further in, though you can't see where that's coming from.
Do the goblins
What-
speak common?
And what
Yeah.
kind of things are they selling?
You can sell. It looks like they're selling arms, armor, maybe a couple of healing potions, food, traveling supplies, kits. And you don't know if they speak Goblin or not, though it does sound like a couple that might be hawking wares in common.
I'm going to tell Haleth to hold up a second.
He grunts impatiently.
Julie walks over to this goblin here and says to him in Goblinoid, I was told there's an arena around here. Which way?
He says, Arena? Not on this floor. I couldn't tell you, Bal. I think the Xanathar Guild has their own sort of arena. I just sell wares.
Well, how do I get to where the Xanathars are?
He says, best way through is probably from Skullport. There's an entrance there from the 3rd level.
Which way is Skullport?
Somewhere on the 3rd level. And frankly, I don't want to have anything to do with the Skullports. With Skullport or the Xanathar Guild. You get the sense he's talking about the arena that you already participated in.
I give him a copper for his trouble.
Yeah, thanks, pal.
Killy, you said there might be a few selling a couple healing potions.
Yes,
Where would I be looking at to discern that?
let's say this fellow up here.
Okay. I'm gonna ask him what he has for sale.
He says, "Ah, hello, my fine fellow. In need of a few potions to aid you in your travels against Undermountain. I got what you need."
What type of healing potions do you have?
This wonderful healing potion will do all it can to cover your wounds and along your travels, ensuring that you don't stay too long in one place and be eaten up by some crawler or crick.
And how much are you asking for these?
150 gold per.
Jesus.
Hmm.
You can't be too careful in these halls. So, do we have a deal?
Before I make up my mind, who runs this trading establishment?
You mean the bazaar? Or
Is that what this is?
well, the guy who runs the place is, they call him Yek the Tall. He's his court is down in that room down there, being guarded by those two. And he points in this direction.
Who set up the bazaar down here? Do you know?
He says, Yek runs the place. We're just a bunch of folks trying to make a living down here. We don't want any trouble.
What? I assume that anything you sell, Zek takes a cut of?
They keep a tax, I think. Yeah.
Well, what percentage of the profit do you get to keep?
He says, oh, we get to keep about 90%.
That's not bad.
Yek's a good guy, if a little conceited. Don't tell him I told you that.
What else do you sell down here?
There are all kinds of things that you can find.
I'll get back to you on the healing potions.
Sure. I'll be right here.
I'm going to approach Haleth, and I'm just going to ask him, in which direction is your target?
He points past the two goblins holding guard in this direction, and he's not making a point of it either. Those two goblins kind of grasp the scimitars at their sides and eye him up a little bit, if a little frightened.
I'm going to ask him if Gek the Tall, or I think you said Geth or Gek the Tall was one of his.
Yek, Y-E-K.
Yek. I'm going to ask him if Yek was one of the people that had murdered him.
He says,
No, but I sense copper in that direction.
I'll reapproach the goblin and say, what would it take to get an audience with Gek the Tall?
He says, well, all you'd have to do is ask, I'd imagine.
Alright, I'm going to tell the guys basically, the whole little what's going on here and see if we can work our way that way.
Tally ho.
Who wants to
Kelly,
try?
you said that there were guards here watching us.
These two guards here, as well as two guards up here, and two guards in the back over here at each doorway.
We should ask for directions to Skullport. Don't we need to get there for Durden?
Durian, you mean?
I'm gonna just
Yeah, the
approach to see if
bartender
they just let
dude.
me by. The
What's
guards
that?
do anything? I'm gonna approach the guards to see if they just let me by. Do they do anything?
They watch you closely, but they're not going to stop you from passing by. And if you're making your way down that direction, Halth is following you.
I will follow as well.
Say no me.
We don't need to get there for Durian. Durian said that was one of the ways to exit.
No, there's something we gotta do for Durham when we get there.
Yeah, he wanted us to look
To look
somebody
about
up, I
money.
think.
Right.
Some owes him money.
He said he wanted. He said if you're making your way to Skullport, there was a bar down there, which I can find the name of later. The barkeep owes him money. He doesn't actually care about the money. He just wants you to tell him so that you can tell him about the look on the poor bastard's face when you mention that you're there for it.
Right.
As you enter in that room, you can see there are several goblins. Bless you.
Thank you.
There are several goblins, as well as a few bugbears in the corners of the room, who are eyeing you cautiously. They're hanging back, clearly ready for violence, but then clearly not pining for it. But sitting on a makeshift throne in the north is to bless you. Sitting on a makeshift throne to the north, you are surprised to see not a goblin, but a handsome-looking human with curly golden locks and very sharp features, who is in the middle of holding a grimy handheld mirror to kind of admire it himself, it looks like. And on the south end, you can see one ugly-looking beardless dwarf that is kind of hanging from a pair of several pairs of chains that are on the southern ceiling. And oops, I'm reading the wrong thing. Sorry, ignore that last part. But you do see a beardless dwarf hanging from a pair of manacles on the south end. And as you enter in, and everybody kind of inspects you, you watch as Halith begins to make his way over to the beardless dwarf. What do you guys do, if anything?
I go approach the human, say, "Good day, sir."
He says, "Haha, pleasure to meet you." And then before anything else happens, you hear to the south, "What? Halith!" You can see the dead elf maneuvering his way past some of the goblins, who immediately kind of part away from the scene. Begins to grin, his eyeball still dangling by a thin rope of flesh, say,
Yes, it's me, Copper. You thought you could cheat me not once, but twice. But there won't be a third.
and he stalks forward further and further to the dwarf. The goblins seem like they're keen to let this happen.
And I ask the human, I go, "My friend down there has some business to take care of with that guy that's hanging from the shackles. Do you have any objection?"
None whatsoever. None
I
whatsoever.
bow and I say, "Thank you."
The
And
revenant stalks forward, and then you hear the dwarf crying out for help.
But
Anyone looking at you, looking at the goblins, and the goblins are petrified as this Knight of Death marches forward.
before Haleth reaches the target, like let's say he's like 5 foot away,
Uh-huh.
right? I would like to just interpose myself between him and Copper. You said
Mhm.
real fast, and I'm gonna say to Copper, or not Copper. I'm gonna say to Haleth, well, hold on a moment. You want your revenge, and that's what we agreed to help you do. But I would like a little bit more knowledge about the people that betrayed you,
Make a
and
persuasion check.
because that's going so well tonight. Bah.
He attempts to push you aside. I need you to make either an acrobatics if you're just going to dodge to the side and try not to get knocked prone, or an athletics check if you're going to try to resist him.
Oh. Try to resist.
Okay.
Oh wait, that was a save. Oh no, that
All
was a
right.
thing. That was a.
Okay. He is trying to push you away, but you are holding him steady. He says,
Nothing will keep me from my revenge. Out of my way!
Uh. God
Take
damn
your
it.
hands off him, undead, before you regret it.
Oh, I can't believe I'm about to say this. Draloff, quick, question the dwarf.
Why does the Revenant want to kill you?
He says, look, this is not important. Listen, keep that monster away from me. Are you really going to be on his side?
Either you tell me or I'm going to let him loose on you.
He says, look, free me and I can give you a map of level 3. All right? And the goblins are kind of surprised upon hearing this.
I'm still up here next to the human. Do I overhear this?
Yes.
I turned to the human and said, I sketched all these floors from the map up above, and can you tell me which one of these is the map to level 3 by chance?
He points at the what is clearly the third level
Okay.
of the map.
I reply back, that information's useless.
He shrugs his shoulders, and he's too petrified and stunned to what's going on. The Revenant is going to again try to push you aside. I need you to make another athletics check.
Ooh.
I'm gonna assist him on
Okay.
resisting.
All right, make an athletics check with advantage then.
I don't think I beat that either way. Hold on. Oh,
All right. You managed to push him back.
Draloff,
he's
This is
kinda-
Copper's last chance. Why does he want you dead?
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Persuasion with advantage. Okay.
He says, we killed him, all right? Me and my compatriots, we killed the bastard. We expected him to be dead. He kept complaining about getting a fair share. Like, we weren't giving him a fair share already.
but over my shoulder, I'm gonna be a fair share of what?
Of all of our looting. You're bloody on the mountain after all.
What's the loot?
Well, I don't have any now.
What was the loot?
I step to the side.
The treasure we acquired, gold, gems. I don't know where it is bloody well now.
At the same time, I'm going to step to the side as well.
Let him have his just vengeance, and hopefully he'll be gone from us.
Julie's looking around. Julie's looking around like with that look in his face, like he's hoping this turns into a full-scale brawl. like he's looking at the two goblins next to him, like which one do I kill first?
The goblins, by the way, are unarmed and are just kind of watching. Yeah, of course not. And are watching petrified from the side. And stepping away from the side, letting Haleth go by, he says, and he grunts. There we go. He grunts, and as he steps forward, you hear the breath of the dwarf cut short as this dwarf is struggling in his chains. His prayer to his gods is cut to a short end as a gurgle emanates out. The death is slow and loud. You can see the dwarf's eyes at the end of this bugging out as the revenant slowly chokes away the last vestige of life and light from his eyes. Beneath his fingers, the bones dance a little bit, crackling like the first thunder of spring.
Well then, one down, two to go.
And at this point, I'm going to turn to him and say, he admitted to murdering you, but now you'll move at our pace. Or you can go by yourself and not get any help from us whatsoever. If you think you could have gotten through this entire room without any kind of resistance, I don't imagine you'll be so lucky moving forward.
He says,
your argument is fair, dragon, but do not stand in my way again.
As long as you don't make it necessary. I'm all for you getting your vengeance and bringing your murderers to justice. But if it conflicts with our goals at the same time, we will have a reckoning.
He says, I understand.
I'm gonna come up to Treverin, and I'm gonna ask what that dwarf was in chains for.
He says, are you asking Treverin this, or are you asking the human?
No, the Yak, I assume is
Okay.
Yak.
Yeah. He says, he tried to steal from the bazaar, and we tied him up and shaved his beard off.
Well deserved, well deserved. I assume you run the bazaar.
Yes, I am Yek the Tall. Welcome to my humble chambers.
Yak is a very strange name for a human, and you are leading goblins, which is another strange thing.
He
How-
kind of coughs uncomfortably and says, well, you don't get in my position without being resourceful.
I don't know why I think that. Um, damn it, I don't have anything that I can do that would help that.
So, how do you resupply your bazaar, if you don't mind me asking?
He says, well, we find discarded items throughout different levels of Undermountain and collect and sell them.
So, these goblins have working knowledge of the lower levels?
I couldn't say for certain. I'm afraid there's a war going on down on the 3rd level right now.
I'm gonna just jump in with Treverin real fast, and I'm gonna look at the guy. I don't know that I need to roll insight or anything for this, but I'm gonna say, so you loot the dead bodies of adventurers and sell their wares.
Kill the things and take their stuff. Kill
And he Yak points over in Julie's direction and says, well, he has about the right of it. Well, we don't kill anything, of course. We're not violent people. We try to keep the peace here. But, when an adventurer dies down here, they certainly don't need anything.
Is there a way to get a discount at your bazaar?
He leans back in his chair and he thinks for a moment. And he says, well, there may be. He says, members of the Xanathar Guild have been trying to push us out and take over this territory.
You'll be
They
glad.
have,
Oops, sorry.
he says, they're run by there are outposts on this level, two watch posts that they run on this level, each with a leader. The northern one is led by a dark elf named Shun Spider Eyes Shareth. There's a one to the south, run by a mad woman named Nadia the Unbent.
I'm gonna look at him and say, I'm not gonna lie, those names sound made up.
Glad I'm not the only one who's thinking it.
It's like they were written down or something, I'm not sure. Strange fantasy names, you know?
I look at him and I say, so if we take care of these two characters for you, I expect to get all of our wares at cost.
At cost?
At cost. Because none of these other guys are in this room, and I look around, all these goblins are going to do this for you.
Make a persuasion check. He says, very well, at cost. Bring me their heads, and we'll negotiate the deal.
That sounds fair. I look at Sin, does that work for you?
Well, it works for me. We've already had dealings with some Xanatharians, and it doesn't.
And then I go, shh. He doesn't need to know that we were going to do it anyway.
I'm not saying that out loud.
and I bow and I take my leave and say, Julie, we have a mini quest. We
He
kill two
seems to,
guys, take their heads, bring them back here. We can buy our stuff at cost and save ourselves a trip back up to the street level to get stuff.
as your eyes meet Yex again, by the way, he seems overly pleased with you bowing and showing him that difference in respect.
Kelly, before we leave, do I get the impression that Yek is all he appears to be?
Make an insight check.
Oh, fuck.
I'll count to 10. You don't know. It's hard to read.
Alright, later on I'd like to revisit that check.
Comrades,
Okay.
if I could have a word.
Sure.
Singe, Travarian. And I try and lower my voice. Why are we even thinking of doing tasks for this one? All they care about is money. Why don't we pay one to guide us on the quickest way down to the next level, which is, again, one more step towards our goal of getting to Hallister's place.
And I look at it and I say, but we will need places to resupply, and I'd rather resupply on level 2 instead of having to go back to street level every time.
I will echo the same sentiments and say to Vigo, I realize that you're trying to get back home and we want to facilitate that as quickly as possible. But you did see the map on the wall that Treverin sketched, correct?
Yes, but I also know that the tavern man told us that there is a city on level 3. Why anchor ourselves to this bazaar when we know there is one deeper down that has done dealings with the upper world before?
That is true, Skullport.
And Kent, sorry. Singe just turns and looks at Kay and it's like, did you both not hear that there is a war going down on the 3rd level just now?
A war between who? It is not our war.
Yeah, but we'll get mixed up in it, and you know that. We're gonna need to be able to resupply before we get to Skullport. This is a temporary thing that will benefit us in the long run.
Not
If you
only
don't
that,
want to do this, we don't have to. We can go all the way to street level every time we need supplies, but that's going to make our journey to Skullport that much longer.
not only that, but I'm sure that we could find a place to rest near here if we needed to. Or perhaps paid for the rent of a room. And at that I yell back up the hall, Yek, is there a place to rent for resting around here?
He says, you're welcome to make a temporary camp in the northern end of the bazaar if you need room to rest and recuperate.
Thank you. And at
I
that,
still think we should line this one's pockets with some gold, because the longer that one, and I point over towards Orcman, said the longer that one is anywhere near other creatures, his bloodlust and greed seems to rise ever higher.
I've noticed. Don't
Julie
worry
looks
about
over
it.
at the Julie looks over at the goblins and does like the shake of his head thing, like nah.
And that's a reply back. And I go, that's also why we give this task to Julie. So when he goes, he gets some of that anger out. And he's much easier to deal with. If we wait to level 3,
Then he can sate himself in the war that is supposedly happening down there.
To be fair, I've not been with this group of adventurers that long, but I get your same impressions about the well, the person pretending to be in a hushed tone, like real quiet, so Julie can't hear. I I get the same impression of the person pretending to be an orc as well. But I do think that it bears having more than one option.
I will lean in really close. I go, there is something odd about this guy because goblins and humans do not get along. And I say, but I'd rather deal with one person than have to clear this whole room.
Then that is, he obviously requires or desires wealth. We give him some to line his pocket, deal with him, get a guide, and move on.
You're welcome to ask him.
Yeah, you're welcome to go see if you can line his pockets. I'm not willing to.
Julie will walk over to the blonde, curly-haired guy and say, "I'll get to Skullport."
He says, "Well, I don't know the exact route from level 3. I've not been down there myself in quite some time. I can tell you that the passage to level 3 is far to the southeast."
Oh, thank you.
I am trying to work. This is not like home. If it was home, I would have made the decision as the leader. But here, we work together, and I am the new one. So
Julie walks over and says, "Hey guys, Skullport," he says, "is to southeast. We should just go."
You know what? I'm through arguing. Lead the way southeast.
Okay. Get to kill the things and take their stuff. Do, do, do.
I should
I'm just gonna.
mention at this point, Singe is so frustrated. At this point, I am following a good 30 feet behind Julie, no matter where he goes.
Say, I'll look at Sinji go. We're all gonna die.
Singe says, I don't think we all are all going to die.
What, their problem? Julie says. Like you
No,
guys are all
I'm
acting
not.
squirrely.
Go right ahead, Julie.
Okay.
Yet.
What's
Yek?
through this door?
Yeah.
Actually, Vigo, please help Julie out.
I'm still up there. Everybody left. I go up there. Yek.
What can I do for you?
Are any of your minions know the way to level 3, the next level down?
He shrugs his shoulders and he says, "I suppose you could try asking someone in the bazaar to lead you."
I raise my voice. Anyone here that knows the way to level 3, I have 10 gold that is more than yours. And I walk out.
One of the bugbears behind you says, "Done." And he says, 10 gold, I'll show you the way.
Oh, sweet.
He
I will give
heals.
him 5 now, and he'll get 5. You get half now, and the rest when we get to the stairs down.
He says, "Fair enough. Name's Taco."
Oh Lord.
Did you
Man,
know
do
a
I have a
dog?
wolf you'll love.
Oh, Jesus.
Follow me.
He's leading us to his brother Nacho.
Comrades, this bugbear Taco says that he
So-
knows the way to level 3.
Oh, cool.
Haleth, and the bugbear kind of recoils at his side. Haleth says,
I sense the next of my compatriots to the east.
Then to the east we stab.
"Okay." So the bugbear opens the door beyond and beckons you forward. He's not taking the lead, but he is going to point you in the right direction.
Let's go, Revenant.
And he pushes forward.
Game over, man. Game over.
Do you say this in character?
I do.
Okay. So they continue on down the hallway beyond.
What warrior is in the back? Anybody?
I am.
Keep an eye on Taco.
keep an
saying this
eye
to
on
Julie?
Taco.
Yes, he should not be. Do not leave him in the rear by himself.
You say this to Julie?
I say
I'm
this
back
to whatever one of the frontline fighters is in the rear.
Come on, Taco, let's go.
That's the entire party minus one.
For some reason, rhythm stopped working. All right. Leading on. You, with Haleth leading on, you come across a four-way intersection that depicts shield dwarves at work. Frescoes. Magic.
Which way? Oh, sorry.
They kind of cover the entire length of this crossway here towards the end of it, that show different shield dwarves at work. And Julie and Vigo, as you begin to kind of pass them, they're rolling magically an animation, stacks of barrels, carving blocks of stone, drinking from stone tankards, etc. And as you make your way down the hallway, a couple of them stop and wave at you and occasionally wink before they get back to work.
Julie waves back.
Which way, Taco?
Taco says, "Way to level 3 is down towards the south." And Gallus says,
I sent my former compatriot further to the east.
Julie will lean down to Vigo and say, "What's with this guy? We have to help him? He creeps me out."
His blind quest for vengeance is not the path that we need to take.
Julie kind of nods sagely. Been there. Very tough being obsessed with vengeance.
It is a danger to us as a party. Who knows where his path will lead?
Taco steps up and says, "You're paying me to show you the way to level 3. You're not
Yes.
paying me to help you out in any sort of combat. If you're going to go explore the rest of this level, and you expect me to help you out, I'm going to request a little bit more."
Let's follow Taco. Always come back later.
Again, you all know my vote in this, but again, as comrades working together, we must come to a consensus.
I would rather help the Revenant and travel down later.
I'll give Taco 100 gold to shut the fuck up and follow.
He swipes the gold, counts it. "All right, fucking fine. I am your shield." Holy shit.
Alright, lead the way.
Haleth strides forward. Taco, after being thoroughly paid and compensated, will follow behind as well. Excuse me. So, sorry, bear with me in just a moment. Okay. He strides forward. You can see beyond. There are some small tunnels that kind of curve around. He says,
Either direction will work. My sensor in the same vicinity.
Julie will take a stealthy kind of look and peek into this area.
you can see that the room inside has partially caved in, but it's clear that someone bored these tunnels, including the one in which you're now standing. The floor in here is covered with dust and debris, and you can't see a door to the north.
Any recent tracks in the dust and debris?
Make a perception check. Not that you see.
Julie will wait here for the and just watch, make sure, just watching that way. If we're going to pursue the east or the southeast, rather, he'll take up the rear. If not, if you guys want to go this way, he'll lead on.
I'll ask the Revenant what he thinks.
He says,
I know not what lies on either pass, but I can sense my foe to the east.
Well, that way is north. This way is east.
Either way, then.
Shamble your broke ass self out front, Revenant.
Broke ass self?
he glowers at you with one good eye, the other one still dangling from a piece of flesh. His skin still bruised green and purple, badly beaten as he looks, and strides past you.
Okay, I glitched out somewhere, or my screen went black, or something.
I think you glitched out somewhere. I don't know where your character token is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My screen's black.
There. How about now?
Okay, I gotcha. Okay, I see the bugbear I paid.
Mm-hmm. He's following behind you. Striding forward into this small hallway, you can see the walls of this passage are painted with images of wizards, though the wizards look like they're succumbing to madness and ultimately being transformed into strange one-eyed creatures with spikes growing out of their backs and sharp-fanged teeth. You see another particularly vivid image that shows shafts of eerie green light that explodes out from a spellbook, changing a wizard into an amorphous mass of eyes and mouths.
Just a little disturbing.
Which way? Oh,
He moves
there we
forward.
go.
He moves stealthily forward in this direction.
Stealth is not my forte.
He quickly shifts around, the rest of you presumably following behind. Taco waiting out here. And as he shifts forward into the room beyond, you can see flickering torchlight filling this hallway. There is freestanding iron torch sconces in the four corners of the room that provide light to this place, which I will change to turn back on so that you guys can actually see them. If you give me a better moment. I had to turn off all the dynamic lighting in here so that you guys wouldn't see a bunch of the extra rooms and shit. So, you see those four freestanding light sconces, and relaxing in one of several overstuffed chairs in a pretty well decorated room in here, actually, is what looks like a fairly young woman dressed in priestly garb. She is wearing around her neck two different holy symbols. One is shaped like a gold coin, and the other shaped like a black disc outlined in purple. There are empty bookshelves and desks that line the walls. Against the southern wall is a long banquet table that has fresh foodstuffs on copper platters and copper flagons filled to the brim with wine. There is a portrait of a smiling Hallister hanging above the table, although he is upside down. And as Hallis steps into the room, you see as the woman sitting in the chair kind of opens up her eyes. She looks like she was chewing on maybe a carrot or something and practically half chokes on it as he steps up. And you hear as he steps forward and says,
Midna. Midna, my dear. It's time to pay the piper.
You can see recognition in the priestess's eyes, and she recoils in shock. You? No. No. Gods, no, not you. You can't be.
Oh, I am.
Hallis strides forward and says,
Reckoning has come. Your reckoning.
Stay back! Stay back! She begins to kindle radiant fire in her palm, but the Revenant cares not and marches on, even as bolts of holy flame are hurled at his wretched body. Back! Back! She screams, hurling more flame at him, but it's no use. The Revenant begins to close the distance. Do you guys do anything while this happens?
I do not. I stand back and let him
Yep.
extract his vengeance.
I do something. I go over to the fresco of the Mad Mage and draw a mustache on him.
Okay, you draw an upside down mustaches. This is all going on.
Yep.
Okay.
So wherever it is, it's up here. It's around
It's southern wall.
okay, I'm down here then.
Yep. Yeah, so while he's basically taking his vengeance as a revenant, you're drawing an upside down mustache and an upside down portrait of the Mad Mage. You hear a telepathic voice in your head go,
Well, that's not very nice. Minus 10 points.
and as the revenant begins to close the distance, he gently cups one of the two symbols around her neck, which Singe you recognize to be the symbol of Joaquin, the one with the coin. The revenant says,
My lady, my goddess, I give unto you this tithe. Do with her what you will.
Alith, please, I didn't mean you any. Her cries are cut short as the revenant closes both hands around her throat and snaps her neck like a dry branch. He tosses her body as it ragdolls the floor, but not before he snatches back the symbol of his deity and adorns himself with her divine icon.
Is that supposed to be a mustache?
It is now.
Mustache with a beard.
There you go.
Trying to draw it upside down is a little bit harder than I expected it to be.
I admire the artistry.
I'm gonna inspect the room.
Okay. Their freestanding torches seem like they're just kind of floating in the middle of the air, lit on their own. You can see empty bookshelves and desks surround the walls. That southern wall has a banquet table that is filled to the brim with what looks like fresh food and fresh wine. And there are several overstuffed chairs that look pretty comfy.
Can I take one of the? I'll try to grab one of the torches.
Okay. As you try to grab it, it does not budge. It seems fixed in place.
You guys need a short rest. Maybe this is a good place for it.
As opposed to the free area we had back at the bazaar.
I'm just saying, it's food, comfortable seating. One point of entry. We have a hired guard.
Where is Taco anyway? Oh, there he is.
Look, I'm sorry. I thought someone said that they needed.
After
needed a
Taco
short-
hears this happen, he's going to come into the room and go, "Ooh, free food," and start chowing down.
Guys, I'll be right back. Bathroom calls.
We're almost done here for the night, I think, here. But
Yeah, Julie will eat.
okay.
I will look for ale to drink.
There's fresh wine.
Kelly, real fast
Uh-huh.
before I walk out and go to the bathroom. Search her body.
Okay. The body itself has her holy symbol, which you think you could probably sell to a temple for 25 gold.
I look around. Revenant. Where's the last person in their vengeance? leads you to?
He says, your dungeon master hasn't studied the map thoroughly enough. No. He says,
I sense the last one to the southwest. Rex the Hammer. With his death, my vengeance will be complete.
what, if anything, do you guys do?
I figure we let him finish his quest and murder the last man.
He also says,
I do not know these halls. I can only sense the direction.
And what is your direction feeling?
he repeats that it's southwest.
Well, your vengeance sense has done well so far.
He also says,
You have allowed me this one to claim vengeance quickly. I am willing to aid you in other halls. Joaquin demands fairness.
All right. Sorry, what did I miss?
Joaquin demands what?
fairness.
Oh,
He basically said, you let me kill these first two quickly and pursue them quickly. It's only fair that I help you out in other rooms.
Did
I prefer to be done with you. You're a yoke on our neck. Let us get this vengeance so that you can be about your way.
Whatever you say.
Her holy symbol, her own holy symbol, not the one that Taliths took, which you believe you could sell for 25 gold.
All right. I was just curious. Okay.
There. Southwest.
I'll throw that to Julie.
Okay.
What are you giving, Julie?
The holy
Her
symbol that you
holy.
should probably sell for 25 gold.
Yeah, in the bag.
And Halith is letting you guys basically lead the way at this point. He only knows the general direction. He doesn't know these halls and doesn't know exactly where to go.
Well, this is the way south. Go. A hallway leading east.
Didn't you say southwest?
You hear Taco say, that would head down to level 3.
And let us be about it.
I'll say we probably need to go south then. Maybe he's down here.
I got lost.
Yeah, I dragged it back. I think. No, I didn't. You went back there. Here, I'll drag you. Are you looking to rejoin your compatriots?
Yeah, I'm trying to move my counter.
I'll move you. All right. There you go.
All right. I gotta be careful. It's clipping me through the walls.
Passage
South.
continues on for quite a while.
What's this little tunnel north here?
There's a little carved tunnel within the hallway that is otherwise straight. You don't know where it leads.
Check it out.
Okay.
Anything in that hallway beyond?
You can see that the hallways are lined with crumbling stone tables and shelves upon which rest sturdy-looking dwarven anvils, whetstones, tongs, hammers, chisels, and other tools. And
Cool.
embedded in the wall at the end of that hallway is some sort of gate, although it just leads into the wall itself. As you
Here's
get closer, yep, right about there. As you
Okay.
get closer, you can see there is an image of a dead tree carved into the keystone.
For Aaron, what do you think it means?
I don't know. You said on the floor there were some like tools and stuff.
They are on tables along the walls.
I grab a set of tools, doesn't really matter what, and I throw them at the gate.
Ting, 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 ting.
Any of the whetstones look particularly fine? Julie could use one.
They're pretty well carved, actually, yes.
Julie will actually take a few of them
Okay, kind of heavy, but you're able to do so.
in the bag.
Okay.
So I take a closer inspection.
It is an archway carved to look kind of almost like a gate of some kind into the wall, and the archway is carved with the image of a dead tree in its keystone.
A dead tree.
Anything around the corner? Just a dead end.
More tools on tables and whetstones and shit.
And shit.
Can I push on the tree or the gate?
You push against hard stone.
Does any of it look like it moves? Any part of the tree maybe can be pushed in, or anything that
Not
might
that-
be a button or
Not
a
that you see.
branch that's a lever can be moved?
Not that you see.
Dead tree.
What's in the center area here?
More tables, more tools.
So it's just a dead tree on the wall. A picture of a dead tree.
It's a gate carved into the wall, some sort of gate, and the gate is carved with the image of a dead tree in its keystone.
I take my quarterstaff and touch the dead tree symbol.
Okay. Taking the quarterstaff out and touching the dead tree symbol, all of a sudden the gate before you lights up and a misty portal seems to open up.
Can we see beyond it?
No.
It's misty, you probably can't. I take the tools now and I throw them at the portal.
It goes through.
Let's get everybody here. This might be a shortcut.
Julie, as you say that, you hear a telepathic voice in your head, and Treverin, you hear it too say,
Turn back. You're not prepared for the dangers that lie ahead.
Never stopped us
re-
before, says Julie.
So I really think I should be believing the guy talking in my head.
and that's all you hear.
As Vigo comes up, I'm sorry, he was there a moment ago. Did he
I
come up?
will I will look at Julie and say, let's go help the rabbit finish his quest, and then let's come back to this. And I'll take
Fair
my
enough.
quarterstaff and touch that symbol again. Does it shut off the gate?
It does not. It stays
Okay.
open for the time
Okay.
being.
All right, so it's
All right.
at least a permanent thing or at least based on what I see, it's semi-permanent for now. All right.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Okay. I don't know where the others went, but whatever. I'm sure they just went this way.
Okay, you make your way further on to the south. You hear Taco say, the way immediately to the south leads to that Xanathar hideout. They're blocking entrance to level 3. That's the only way down there.
While he's in it, I tap Kay on the shoulder and whisper to him what we'd found up there about the there's a portal and that he might want to convene with his worldly friend to see if they know anything about it.
Noted. I guess I'll summon my blade and just like lay it on the ground in front of me and take a quick cross-legged and see if I can't communicate with her in any means.
In order to efficiently do that, you would have to at least take a short rest.
Okay. So I know I always carry stuff with me to draw out the ritual circle and stuff, but I don't know if I could, having a weapon bound to her, if I could communicate anywhere or not.
You can get on occasion subtle messages every once in a while, but in order to have your full-on ritual to communicate with her and get a clearer message, you would have to prepare the ritual and take at the very least that 10 minutes to do so.
Okay. Next time we get a 10-minute breather, I'll see what I can get out of her.
Yep. All right. Where are we going? What are we doing?
Any feeling, Revenant?
He says, or he focuses for a moment, closing his eyes, and says, if I quit losing my place on the damn map. He says,
Somewhere close to the west.
Noted. And I will charge on forward. The quicker we get done with this guy's killing shit, the quicker we can get him on with our own little thing.
Does anyone have chalk or marking?
Fun fact, I do. That's what I use to draw my ritual circles.
That hallway right back there, Taco said that was the direct way. We should mark the walls back towards that intersection.
I will walk back and mark it to say we went this direction and not the other.
okay.
And I will come back to the party.
I just take a moment to note it in my book.
Okay. The hallways continue on for quite a while.
Why is this hallway so damn long?
Well,
It's almost maddening how long this hallway is.
I'm
With
actually
very-
irritated.
why are you irritated, dwarf? I figured underground was your natural habitat.
Well, no, the dwarf said it.
It was
But-
me who said it, Kay.
Oh, well, that's right, the warlock. Never mind.
Julie magically rejoins the party. As you make your way, after spending about 10 minutes muttering about how long the stupid hallway is, and kind of muttering under your breath, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? You eventually come to a room, in the middle of which you see two monsters, kind of rust-colored monsters. They look like they're batting and fighting one another again over some rusted steel helmet in the middle of the room, and they are casting it about as they knock each other around. The walls in this small room are decorated with the bas-relief carving of dwarves singing and drinking. There are a dozen empty iron torch brackets mounted on the north and southern walls at 10-foot intervals. It seems like these two monsters, for the time being, are ignoring you.
Revenant?
He points to the north.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
So, making your way around the stairs and descending down. There's a hallway in front of you, much shorter, with several doorways.
I'll listen at this one.
Okay. You hang on a sec. You hear some skittering in the room beyond, but it's difficult to give a specific degree of numbers or figure out exactly what it is.
There's something behind this door. What about the other one behind us?
Well, hold on. Revenant, what do you feel?
He says,
Somewhere in those rooms beyond. I'm sure of it.
Okay. Be ready, friends. I try to open the door.
it is locked.
If only you
Oh.
were a mechanome.
I will ask Julie to beat the door down.
I insert my pinky.
I saw. Yeah, really, exactly. I saw that ration was like, God damn, I'll never need to play a rogue again.
Nah.
All right, I will. I'll give it a. I'll give it a shoulder. It appears locked.
Make an athletics check.
Oh, well.
Thump, 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 thump. You're banging against the door, reverberates, but the door does not budge.
Kick the door open
Make an athletics check.
with advantage.
Why? Are you raging?
No, you don't have to be raging to get this thing.
He's got something of the bear.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I get advantage on all strength checks of breaking, moving, and pushing him.
That explains why you've been breaking down every door. All right, go ahead and make that athletics check. All right. So, Vigo, strong as you are, you try to bash open this door. Nothing budges. The dwarf kind of takes you by the shoulder, pushes you back, and goes, "Let me show you how it's done." Or, sorry, wrong accent. "Let me show you how it's done." Whack! And bashes open the door. There's now a dwarf-sized hole through what was the magically arcaned locked door.
That's pretty fucking funny.
Beyond, as you burst your way through Dreloff, you see a fairly disturbing sight of 4 creatures that look like this.
Oh.
You've hit a creature that I'm not familiar with.
And they stare at you curiously and kind of babble for a minute. And you hear a voice telepathically in your mind, Dreloff, say, well, before that happens, go ahead and make a deception check for me.
Did you say deception?
Yes, I did.
Oh, shit.
All right, I'll count to 19. As one of the creatures stares at you with an odd gaze from its singular eye, you feel as though something is trying to scratch away at the back of your mind, but you resist whatever it is. And as you kind of stare at these things, they begin to kind of lick their lips greedily and shimmy around you before springing to attack. And we'll continue that combat next week.
Ah,
Dun dun dun.
It's 10:30.
Nope, that's my initiative.
You can go ahead and roll your initiative ahead of time, but we'll do the combat next time.
Oh, fine.
Son of a bitch.
Power 1, alright.
Might as well roll.
I'll go ahead and just add my initiative onto the round for the different characters I am controlling. So you can feel free to add your initiative to those, but we will do the combat next time because it's already 10:30.
All right.
all right.